बच्चों को बोलो जी, बच्चों को बोलो कि
I requested participants please mute your mics. We'll start shortly.
Sir, if everyone came, resource person came, means we can start the event, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, resource person joined by 6:30, sir. The session start by 6:30. Yes, sir. Now we will start the inauguration session, sir. Once VC sir joined, we'll join, sir.
Sir already joined, sir. VC sir is online only. He already joined. We can start the event. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, good evening to everyone. On behalf of VIT-AP University, it gives me immense pleasure to warmly welcome you all to the Atal Online 6-Day Faculty Development Program 2025-26 on cybersecurity and applications. So, we are honored to have with us our respected Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. S.V. Puducherry sir, our esteemed Dean of Scope, Dr. Karaikal sir, and our coordinator Dr. Anil Vitthalrao sir, and co-coordinator Dr. Ramkumar and Dr. Surendra sir, and Dr. Munishwari ma'am. So this FDP under the Atal Academy initiative is designed to provide valuable insights into the emerging domains of cybersecurity. I extend my warm greetings to all the distinguished speakers and participants who have joined us from various parts of the country. So I sincerely hope this FDP will create a platform for fruitful discussions, collaborations, and knowledge sharing in the critical area of cybersecurity. So once again, I welcome all. You are looking forward to an engaging and enriching week ahead. Now I request to our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Now I request to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.V. Puducherry sir, to address about our VIT-AP University.
Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the School of Computer Science and Engineering to organize this FDP on cybersecurity and its applications. And the Dean, the School of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. Saidatul, and the coordinators and faculty members and research scholars and the students. This is actually one of the biggest the FDP VIT-AP University is organizing because the large number of participants are registered in this FDP. Then I'm very happy that more than 500 participants are participating in this faculty development program. And the topic also is very interesting and then very the need of the hour, because the cyber security is very, very important. And it's again emerging area where we need to have the proper security for everything, particularly in the software side, and then particularly in computer science and engineering. And the FDPs are very much needed because the faculty members will know what exactly happening in the industry. Then in turn, they can impart this knowledge to the students. Therefore, at VIT-AP University, we are encouraging the schools, all the schools. We have 7 schools. The prominent one, biggest one is the School of Computer Science and Engineering, and School of Electronics Engineering, School of Mechanical Engineering, School of Business, School of Social Science and Humanities, School of Law, and School of Advanced Sciences. All 7 schools, we are encouraging them to organize the various FDPs, faculty development programs. This is basically to enhance the knowledge of the faculty members and to impart that knowledge to the students. And all these FDPs, we are encouraging the industry also to participate, because the academia is one side and then industry also the other side. Both have to come together. Therefore, industry participation in the FDPs also is very, very important. Actually the industry professionals should participate and then teach us what is happening in the industry. Therefore, in this FDP, I'm very happy to see that there are some the companies, like apart from the institutions, Okay, universities like University Malaysia, Perlis, then NITs, then IIT DM Kanchipuram, and apart from these universities, then VI Technologies Private Limited Chennai and JKV Robotics Research Lab Chennai and Capgemini Private Limited Pune. These are the industry partners who are going to impart their knowledge in this faculty development program. We thank the industry, all these industries to be part of this FDP, and we would like to express our sincere gratitude to them. Then apart from this, the FDPs, we also organize various the international conferences, and basically these international conference also in collaboration with various international universities, and of course the industries also, because industry is very, very important, because whatever we organize, whether it is FDP or whether it is international conference or anything what we organize, the industry collaboration is very much needed. Therefore, we give top priority to the collaborations. And then the other thing, like there are so many achievements of VIT-AP University, and because of lack of time, I will cut down my speech. And particularly on the research front, we are doing extremely good, and we have published more than 5,000 or 4,700 papers. Okay, then since our inception in the Scopus Index journals, all these are top-notch journals. And then per faculty publications, if you see, we are more than 3.5 papers per faculty publications, and which is again a great achievement of the university. As new university, we have this achievement. And apart from this, on innovation side also, patents we are publishing, and we have published more than 560 patents in a short span of 3 years. And these patents, again, as a new university, we are #1 in the country for patent publications. And of course, now the focus is on technology transfer. We are working on the technology transfer side. And coming to the cybersecurity area, particularly, we have the Center of Excellence in Cybersecurity. And we are actually signed MOU with the IIT Madras for cybersecurity research. And also, we are closely working with the National Cybersecurity Research Council, and we organized hackathons in collaboration with the National Cybersecurity Research Council. And apart from this, we are also organizing various workshops and then this FDPs like this. And I'm sure that with all these efforts, our faculty members will be benefited immensely. And not only our faculty members, now here I am seeing the faculty members across the country, and I'm sure that it will be beneficial for all the faculty members who are attending this faculty development program. And we also would like to thank Atul for providing the funding to organize this FDP. And before I conclude, I would like to appreciate the efforts of the Dean School of Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. Sudhakar Elango, and the team, particularly the coordinators, faculty coordinators, Dr. Anil, Vitthalrao, Turukmane, then Dr. D. Ramkumar, then Dr. Muneshwari, then Dr. Surendra Reddy Vinta, and other faculty members and research scholars and students to organize this faculty development program. I would like to congratulate them and appreciate their efforts. And I request all the faculty members who are attending this FDP to make use of it, because usually we organize 5 days, but then I was just checking with the Dean why it is 6 days. Then he mentioned that as per Atal, we need to organize for 6 days. And I'm sure that this FDP will enlighten all the faculty members who are attending this. Once again, I wish you all the very best. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your valuable speech, sir. And next, I now requested Dr. Sudhakar Elango, sir, Dean of the School of Computer Science and Engineering, to address our school.
Thank you, sir. Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, and my dear colleagues, and dear faculty members, research scholars, and students, very good evening to all of you. It's a great joy and privilege to be a part of this ATAL FDP on cybersecurity and its application. First of all, I would like to congratulate and thank the organizers for arranging this need of our workshop FDP on cybersecurity. I thank Professor Anil and Ramkumar and Dr. Munishwari, Dr. Surendra Venda for this continuous effort to make this event is a great success. And I would like to just brief about School of Computer Science and Engineering. Our school, we have started in the year 2017 with three categories: B.Tech Computer Science and Engineering, B.Tech Artificial Intelligence and Cyber Security, and Data Analytics. Now our school has 7 specialization. It's starting with AI/ML, blockchain, cyber security, data analytics, software engineering, B.Tech computer science and business system with collaboration with TCS. And also we have a 3 PG program. One is integrated MTech, integrated software engineering 5-year course, and MTech computer science engineering. We are collaborating with Virtusa. And this current academic year, we are going to start part-time MTech computer science and engineering. And we are also having a research program and other MSc data science and BSc data science also. It is run by our SA, School of Advanced Sciences. So, and we have state-of-art laboratories, as VC sir rightly mentioned about the research activities. We have Center of Excellence with blockchain. We have Center of Excellence with data science, and we have Center of Excellence with cyber security, Center of Excellence with AI and robotics, and we have in-house research high performance computing laboratory that we are offering to our research scholars and as well as BTech students. So they can use the HPC lab and they can perform. Also, we have a 3D printing for a product-based development. Also, we are providing opportunity to our scholars as well as the students and the faculty members. And I think this workshop will be a great eye-opener for those who are doing research in zero trust, ransomware, and then IoT. Now it is hot topic is IoT security, and I've seen that schedule also. It is like a phishing variant, and blockchain. It is touching all the security aspects of computer science and engineering and current industrial trends. And so this will be a fruitful one. And I also thank all the resource person from the academia area and industrial, from especially from today's speaker, Professor Saidatul from Malaysia, University of Malaysia. I thank you, madam, for your valuable time and spending with us. And I also thank Dr. Karthik N, NIT Puducherry, who is the speaker for the day. So I think all the speakers will give you a good input, and then I request all the participants to make use of this FDP in a fruitful manner. I think all our transit time, the AICT has fixed 6 to 9. All are in moving. Some people I could see they are traveling and they are listening. So that is the spirit of learning. I hope everyone have a wonderful learning experience. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Saidatul sir. And I requested Dr. Anil V. Turukmane sir, coordinator for this FDP, to address about the FDP.
Thank you, sir. Respected Vice Chancellor sir, respected Dean sir, my colleague Dr. Ramkumar, Surendra sir, and Munishwari ma'am. Today I just brief about the today FDP. That objective of this particular workshop to create the secure cyber ecosystem in country, generate the adequate trust and confidence in the IT systems and transaction in cyberspace, and thereby enhance the adoption of IT in all the sector of their economics. Another objective of this FDP, that is to create assurance framework to design security policies and promotion to enabling the actions for the compliances of global security standard and the best practices by way of conformity assessment, just like for related products, process, technology, and papers. Next objective of this particular FDP, that is strengthen the regulatory framework to ensuring a secure cyberspace ecosystems. Next objective about this FDP, that is enhanced to create the national and sectoral level 24/7 mechanism for obtaining strategy information regarding threats to ICT infrastructure, creating scenario for responses, resolutions, and crisis management thought effective, predictive, preventive, and protective response and the action that particular things. Again, some of the four trust area of the including in the FDP, just like for we have said that particularly fundamental emerging trends in cybersecurity, applications of Internet of Things and cloud computing in secure environment, advanced technique for threat detections, risk management, and the data protections, and hands-on of exploratory tools, case study, and real-world applications. Just like I will tell about that particular, what are the resource persons available. So already brochures and banners shared with all the participants. One time I will tell our resource person available first Dr. Saidatul, Ardeenawatie, VIT-AP Professor, University of Malaysia, Perlis, Dr. Karthik N, National Institute of Technology, Puducherry, Dr. Jay Kumar, National Institute of Technology, Agartala, Dr. Anil Kumar, National Institute of Technology, Suratkal, Dr. Rajesh Koluri, IIT Kanchipuram, Dr. B. Elizabeth, that is a Managing Director, VI Technology Private Limited, Chennai from Industries, Mr. Yuvraj, JK Robotics Research Lab, Chennai, Mr. Satish Pise, Cloud Security Manager, Capgemini Private Limited, Pune, Dr. Aditya Arun Kumar, Nokia, Maitha Business Park, Maharashtra, Dr. Mr. Samartha Bhaskar Bhatt, Technical Director, Reverse Engineering, Infosys, Bangalore, and Dr. Lim Chin, Professor, University of Malaysia. These are the resource persons available. Now I request to all the participants to take the benefit of this particular FDP. Now, some of the important points I will to tell you. We are having FDP total 13 session. In 13 session, there is a as per Atal FDP AICT that particular attendance require minimum 80% for all the sessions, and we will conduct the in 13 session, that is a one test. That test you will should be required of the minimum 70% marks, then and then only you will eligible for the certificate. That is a criteria assigned by the Atal FDP, that is a minimum attendance for the 80% and test marks required the 70%. And I happy to announce that particularly more than 500 participants registered for this FDP. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anil sir. And I requested the participant to switch on the video mode to take today's attendance. Participants are requested to please.
So thank you, sir. Respected VC sir, thank you, sir. Thanks for joining, sir. So thanks for your valuable words and your motivation. So we'll do more FDPs like that, fruitful for the academic environment. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you. We'll start the event, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Over to the sessions. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can proceed, sir. You can proceed. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Ramkumar, sir, one time, 1 minute to. Okay, I request to all the participants, please switch on your camera. That is a work. One group photo is required to all the participants starting mode. Everyone, please start your cameras for the 1 minute.
I requested the participants please kindly switch on the video for today's attendance. Okay, participants, thank you all. Please stay online. So within 5 minutes, our first resource person going to join. Okay.
One more thing, I request to all the participants, every session we have, after end of every session, we will share one feedback form through your register mail ID and WhatsApp group also. Mandatory everyone to fill that particular feedback every sessions. Thank you.
Sir, can you please add me to the WhatsApp group?
Yes. Resource person get joined. I requested Mr. Anil to present that short biography of the resource person, Dr. Saidatul.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Actually, sir, your voice is not audible, sir. I think your mic is get muted.
Sorry, you are not audible.
Sir, am I audible, sir, now?
Yeah, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, good evening to all esteemed participants, respected faculty members, industrialists, and our distinguished guests. I warmly welcome everyone to the day one of the AICTE Atal Faculty Development Program on Cybersecurity and Applications, organized by SCOPE, VIT-AP University. We are privileged to have with us today eminent expert in their field who will be sharing their knowledge and insights with us during this session. Let us now proceed to introduce our first guest speaker for the session. Dr. Saidatul Ardeenawatie is a senior lecturer in biomedical engineering in University Malaysia, Perlis, with 18 years experience in higher education. She teaches medical imaging to undergraduate engineers and leads research that bridges cybersecurity and EEG signal processing. Her projects investigate EEG-based biometric authentication, mental stress detection, and neurofeedback for autism, translating multi-channel signals into practical tools for learning, health, and behavioral support. Her cybersecurity research experience includes privacy preserving biosignal analytics, secure by design neurotechnology, medical IoT risk assessment, and AI-driven anomaly or threat detection for environments, with an emphasis on governance, data protection, and ethical deployment. She has published in Web of Science, Scopus Indexed Venues, and reviews for expert systems with applications. As an invited speaker, Dr. Saidatul shares methodological insights on robust pre-processing, spectral and connectivity features, interpretable machine learning pipelines, and cross-session generalization. Her talk highlights research gaps, pathways to clinical translation, and safeguards for trustworthy, human-centered neurotechnology that protects patient privacy while enabling decision-making. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Saidatul Ardeenawatie. Madam, over to you, madam.
Hello, thank you very much for the invitations. Okay, thank you, Dr. Ram, for the invitations.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Okay, let me share my slide first. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, ma'am. Please proceed.
Can you see my slide?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Just loading. Yeah, visible, ma'am. It's visible now.
Is it move? My
Yeah.
slide?
Yeah. Visible.
All right.
Please go ahead. Please.
Okay. Wait now. Ada dekat TV. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am. Clear.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining today's sessions. Okay, first of all, I would like to sincerely thanks to all Indian Council Technical Educations and the organizer, especially Ardeenawatie because he invited me. School of Computer Science and Engineering, VIT, University India for this invitation. So it's actually truly an honor to share my works and insight with you. Today, I would like to present my recent research that's on cybersecurity. So in this session, we will look at how cybersecurity is evolving, okay, where the gaps remain, and how new frontiers such as EEG-based biometric can provide exciting direction for the future. So actually, I'm talking about we are talking about what is the recent research gap on cybersecurity. Okay, and then after that, we are going towards the biometric applications for which is we apply in cybersecurity. Okay, next, I will discuss with you what is the roadmap of the study of our works, of my works actually. Okay. All right. This is what we are going to learn today. Okay. The topics about cybersecurity, the current situation of cybersecurity today, and then research gaps, EEG biometrics, and where we apply this cybersecurity. For example, we apply in healthcare, in military, in defense, and in educations, in company, in school, university, and etc. So after that, I will discuss with you your future directions. Okay, what is actually the future of the cybersecurity. Okay, then before we go further, I would like to give you a brief introduction about myself. Okay, my name is Ardina and I'm actually 15 years working on the EEG signal processing, which is we correlates to the how we diagnose the brain signals to autism patient. For example, in order to train or to support the neurofeedback for autism patients. And after that, we're also working on the mental stress detection, how we detect stress, and then how we authenticate patient with the brain signal. Okay. And then essentially, I work at the intersection of the human brain and digital security. That's why it's closely related between the cybersecurity and also human authentication system. So we begin with the present. Okay, now all the system towards the digitalization. So when we are talking about digitalizations, more devices, more systems, so we were exposed to more attack surfaces. So every time we connect a new hospital system, IoT device or financial applications, we actually open up to the potential new doorway for attackers. Okay, I can give you an analogy. Like if we have a house and in so many doors, so many windows there, so actually we open to the burglars to come in. We add doors, we add windows, meaning that we add more burglars to come in. It same goes to this system. Okay, so the technologies like AI, IoT, 5Gs, when it's rapidly growth, it's also rapidly increment of the new risk. For your information, cybercrime projected around 10.5 trillion by 2025, which is bigger than most national economies. So either we want or we don't want, we need to find out how to develop our cyber security to cut off all of these cyber attacks. So the most prime target actually this cybersecurity in healthcare. Okay, healthcare has become a prime ransomware target. Okay, for example, in 2017 we call it WannaCry ransomware, which is attack on the UK National Health Services, where they try to steal all the patient information in the system. So this may cause all the patient information missing and shut down the hospital, delayed surgeries, and endangered patients. Okay, why they are most interested in healthcare? Because the medical records are worth more than the credit card data on the dark web. So unlike a credit card, you can't cancel your medical history. So you know that more hospitals have more IoT medical devices like pacemaker, patient monitoring system, which is often lack strong authentications. Okay, so more on that is critical infrastructure like power grids and airport are equally serious. Okay, so we know that most of the hospital have most of IoT devices, which is highly targeted by ransomware target patient record. And in the same time now, we have so weak protection in connected devices. And in the same time, we need to protect the health data. It's like protecting the nations. Okay, why research gaps matter? Okay, why do we need research on this? Because the technology evolve fast, but defense late. So the technology of the cybersecurity is rapidly growth, but the problem now is the defense is quite late. Okay, current cybersecurity tends to be reactive and patching vulnerabilities after an attack. But many vulnerabilities are not yet studied in depth, which is where academia need to step in. So our role as a researchers has to anticipate the unseen gaps before they become the next big attack vector. So now I'm going to move into the heart of discussions today, which is the first gap. Okay, the research gap now is the first one is the human-centric. Okay, why do we need to focus on the gaps? Because in those blind spots, the things we have not yet solved, which is lies, opportunities to innovations, collaboration, and impactful research. So I would like to go through 5 gaps, which is the main gaps, okay, in cybersecurity, which is number 1 is human-centric. This is human-centric, which is people remain the weakest link, and statistical shows 90% of attacks start with phishing emails. Okay, phishing emails. Inside the street, for example, internal staff, okay, whether it is careless employee or a disgruntled one, remain a huge concern. So they always use, for example, password reuse, okay? Sticky notes with login details or simple mistake can undo millions of dollars of investment in firewalls and AI robotics. So human-centric is the main gaps, okay, in cybersecurity. The next one is the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, while AI have defense, it's also introduce risk. So we introduce one tools to help us, but in the same time, this is also introduce the new risk. And AI is a double-edged sword, you know. Okay, while it helps us to detect threats faster, but in the same time, it's also introduced us new risks. Okay, data poisoning occurs when malicious data is leaked into training set and corrupting the model. So at the end, we don't know what is the actual pattern, what is the actual model should be. And then, for example, AI spam filter can be bypassed with adversarial text. The number 3 is the IoT and healthcare. All right. The third gap, this one, is IoT and healthcare systems. So we know that there are now billion number of IoT devices worldwide, from cameras to medical implants. So we use a default password, okay, meaning that even in our university, in our schools, we always use default passwords. Actually, it's exposed us to very dangerous situations, okay. What I mean with the default password, like we place a password ABC123 or ABC12345, and this is exposed to the people. Okay, so in healthcare, this is a very critical issue. Okay, and it's a high value and life critical. For example, if our patient have used ventilator of pacemaker, and suddenly that ventilator or pacemaker is hacked by the attackers. So it's not just a technical failure, but it's a human life at risk. Okay, so the case example is a Mirai botnet 2016, which is hijacked by IoT cameras, okay, and shut down Major's website. So can you imagine if cameras can do that, what happened to the other hospitals' devices? Okay, it can do more. So this is a very serious problems in IoT and healthcare cybersecurity. And the next is a quantum threats. Okay, as we know that, let's we talk about the future. Okay, future we are going to expose with the quantum threats, which is quantum computers. Once fully developed, will be able to break today most commonly encryption system or methods. For example, in banking information, banking system, we are using the password, which is encryptions, RSA. Okay, this one RSA actually stand for reverse schema edelman or ACC encryption. Now we use these encryptions. Okay, in bank informations, in hospital information, we use this, but in 10 to 20 years, in 10 and 20 years, okay, we will, in future, we will facing the big problem because quantum computers have been created that it can hack the system nowadays. So what's the solutions? They works on the create the new post-quantum cryptography, which is PQC. Okay, it's still theoretical, not widely deployed, but they estimate it can be used another 10 to 20 years. So all the system must be ready to face this problem later. Okay, number 5 is gap. Number 5 is policy and governance. The final gap is not technical but structural, okay, which is a policy and governance. So I'm not sure in India what type of the data privacy laws are implemented, but for example, in Malaysia, we use a PDPA, in Europe, GDPR. Okay, for example, if we want to verify one account, example, financial account and etc., okay, certain companies still use the face recognition, facial recognitions to verify. But for your information, in some EU cities, okay, it is banned and it is prohibited because they found that this is a highly security problem. Okay, but in Malaysia, they still use, okay, take facial recognition to verify. But actually, this is it is openly used for surveillance, and the lack of consistency create loophole that attackers, which is we can say that unethical issues, okay, can be exploited. All right, and then so to summarize, okay, there are 5 research gaps. Okay, I'm talking about 5 research gaps we must address, which is human vulnerabilities, artificial intelligence, machine learning adversarial risk, IoT healthcare risk, quantum trade readiness, and policy and governance. So as you can see here, these 5 research gaps, okay, keywords of these 5 is quite important, okay, to see the research gap in cybersecurity. So for the next part is I have explored the big picture of research gap. Okay, labs will zoom into a frontier that connects both cybersecurity, neuroscience, and actually we use the EEG signals using for biometrics. Okay, what is EEG signal? EEG signals is the brain signal. So we use these brain signals to authenticate people. So this is one of the recent technologies. It's still new, but it's still not widely used and it's still new to explore. Okay, biometric are not new, okay. We already use the fingerprint, okay. This is the conventional method, fingerprint, facial recognition, and iris scan. But EEG or brainwave open a whole new dimensions. Okay, why? Because it's likely a fingerprint. Okay, fingerprint can copy. People can copy. People can make it more and copy. People can scan your face and do it, image processing to copy your face. But the brain signal cannot be copied. It's hardly copied. So that's why we move towards the brain signal. Okay, for example here, okay, why we move to biometrics, okay? Passwords are easy to hack. So if people know your password, so they can copy and type your password and then you can log into the system. Okay, and then we move to a bit harder biometrics, which is biometric iris. Okay, scan your iris, your eyes, and then it can log in. Okay, same goes to fingerprint also. So as long as the fingerprint and the eyes scan image similar, so you can log in the system. Okay, so people can make it fake image processing to copy and to log in your system. Okay, it's different, your brain signal, and actually brain signal is we can call it brain print. So every people have a uniqueness pattern. So it's hard for us, it's hard for the people to copy. So that's why we move to the EEG signal as a biometrics methods. Okay, now, however, we have gaps, okay, gaps in EEG biometric. Okay, people have their own patterns. Okay, you and me, okay, for example, if you're looking at this mouse, okay, this is the purple mouse, right? Okay, so if you're looking at this mouse, you look at this is a purple mouse. And I also think the same. But our brain produce a different signal, which is this signal have your own pattern. So we call it pattern recognitions. I will produce my own patterns looking at this mouse, and you also produce the different pattern looking at the same mouse. Okay, so this is, we call it pattern recognition. Same like thumbprint, every people carries different thumbprint, and same goes right the brain print, every people carries or produce different brain print. However, because of this EEG signal is high variability and it will change due to emotion. If you are emotion, if you are in good mood, so if you are in bad mood, if you are in fatigue, if you are in stress, all of this pattern will change accordingly. And in the same time, strong noise, artifact from eye movement, muscle also may result to this signal. And now we have a data set too small and it is not standardized. Okay, that's the problem right now. So again, the ethical issues, okay, brain hacking, which is, this is a big risk. Okay, not only the system hacking, but now is brain hacking. Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions before we move further? Any questions, from the floor? Okay, I just want to give you an analogy. Okay, actually, what we want to achieve. Okay, what we want to achieve actually. Okay, you imagine. Okay, we have one system. Okay, imagine that I'm logging into your bank account. Okay, and instead of just typing a password once, this is the conventional methods. We just typing the passwords, okay, once. Now, in the future, okay, we are going to move it, your brain signal are continuously confirming. For example, I open the bank account, so I'm using my EEG signal. So the signal recognize me. It is my EEG signal pattern. So the signal will recognize that, yes, this is still Dr. Ardina login. Okay, if someone, for example, Dr. Ram, okay, takes over, so the system is instantly knows and the system will shut down. So by using the brain recognitions. Okay, that's the promise of EEG biometrics. All right, now we move to the applications. We move to the applications. Okay, where we apply this knowledge, okay, where we did apply this analogy, this application is number one in the healthcare, okay, number two in the defense or military, and number three is academic or in the company, okay. All right. In healthcare applications, okay, so healthcare is a very curious, it is a very, the stakes are high, okay. So first, EEG data, EEG patient data. So we must keep all this EEG patient data because we keep the brain signal, okay. It's like you keep the identity card of the patient. So it must make sure that it's secure. Okay, as brainwave monitoring become common in hospital, projecting the data, the brain data is as important as protecting the medical records. Okay, number two is telemedicine. What is telemedicine? Okay, telemedicine is we sending the brain signal, okay. For example, the patient from the rural, from the village, from the rural patient, we're sending these EEG signals to the neurologist in city, for example, to a city neurologist. Okay, so if we sending without strong encryptions, the data could be intercepted. So this is a very dangerous. Okay, the third is the EEG is often in neurological monitoring. So when we use this is, for example, we use this to monitor the epilepsy, coma, or rehabilitation patients. If this data is tampered with, so it could harm, it could affect the treatment's decisions. Okay, so the analogy of the how serious we need to keep this brain signal is like, EEG data is like a digital heartbeat of the brain. So our heart, we have the pulse rate, right? Okay, but for the brain, we have this heart of the brain is the EEG signal. Just as we need to protect the heart monitors and pacemaker, so we must protect also the brain signal with equal seriousness. Okay, next we use EEG in defense and military. So maybe you ask why we need this EEG in defense and military. Okay, in defense, the application are powerful but very risky if you didn't have any firewall or protections. The EEG can be used to monitor the soldier fatigues and alertness. So in this case, so we can reduce the accidents and improving mission performance. Sorry. Okay, this is also research into brain control drone and defense system. So we are not, for the future, we are not sending our soldier physically, but we will send the brain control system, which is the soldier just been in headquarters, sending the drone controlling brain control system, which is faster and more intuitive than a joystick. Okay, this is the military in future. Okay, but again, okay, so we still have a drawback of this system, which is we call it neuro hacking. Okay, if people get the data, steal and manipulating a soldier's neural data, it's become a big problem. Okay, the analogy is like this: if traditional hacking is like stealing someone's keys, okay, neuro hacking is like you steal access to their mind. Okay, this is a big problem. Okay, that's why different application must take neuro security. Okay, we call it neuro security, which is extremely serious. Okay, working in EEG in defense and military is still new, and because we have a so small, the data is so small. Okay, we still need a large data repository to proceed with this project. Okay, and next is a workplace. Okay, this is an example of brain control drones. Okay, again, okay, I would like to highlight here is a neuro hacking risk. Okay, this is how actually the system how we need to protect the soldiers' neural data to the attackers. Okay, next. Okay, this is actually how we apply the EEG signals to detect stress in employees. Okay, this is important because most of the employees, okay, they feel stress. Okay, so and in the same time, we need to give their awareness, okay, guided security awareness training. So based from this data, okay, the employers can keep their employees stay healthy in terms of the mental state. Okay, in educations, what we try to apply is a EEG-driven adaptive learning system. Okay, which is we can customize the learning systems to prevent the student appears mentally fatigued. So this is one of the where we apply this EEG driven adaptive learning system. So, but here too, we must ask next. Okay, the problem is who, if we collect the data, collect the EEG signals, who owns this data? Either the student need to keep, either you as a patient need to keep, the employer or the institutions. So this is become a big problem. Maybe you are still not understand. For example, I just give you an analogy. It's like giving your employer or teacher access to your diary. Okay, except here, now if we are giving our mental data, neural data, so it's like you are giving your diary, okay, your mind in real time, which is a special code to people. So this is still become the ethical issues is hotly debated. Okay, That's why governance is essential, okay, to take precaution on this. All right. Maybe, okay, now I would like to share with you one case study, which is mental stress detections. Okay, recently in the hospital, for example, in psychiatric hospitals, the doctors don't have any methods to evaluate. Okay, you feel stressed, but you don't know how the severity of your stress. Either you are low stress, either you are moderate or extremely stressed. And if you are go to the psychiatric hospital and ask the doctors, okay, I feel stressed, but how you quantize your stress? Okay, but now the conventional method is the doctors will ask you to answer the questions, okay, to answer the questionnaire or survey, and from there they will measure your scoring, and then based on the scoring they will classify you. Either you are slightly stressed, either you are just moderate, but if they looks you are extreme stress, so they will prescribe you medications to reduce your stress. Okay, it's just based on the questionnaire. So because of this, it is very important for us to find the method how to quantize the stress. Okay, so what we are doing is actually we collect the brain signal here, and then after that we do some EEG signal processing, which is consists of the pre-processing. Pre-processing, we remove all the noise, all the eye blinking, all the eye blinking muscle, okay, artifacts. And then after that, we classified it into sub-frequency band, which is alpha, beta, gamma, and theta. As we know, the theory is if your brain contains high or dominant alpha wave, so it shows that your brain now in relaxed condition or relaxed states. But therefore, if they found your brain have very high beta wave, so it will give us indicators that you are in stress or you are in critically thinking state. Okay, this is, then we will quantize your mental stress based on the EEG features, okay, power spectral density, entropy, and phase locking value. So actually we have so many features how to quantize the mental states. Okay, after that, we are going to classify it into machine learning models, SVM, CNN, and decision making. And from there, we can classify your stress level under which categories. Either you are in low, medium, or you need further treatments. Okay, practical applications is monitoring employee or student stress. Even actually in HR, okay, human resource department in company, they are now go for the applying these methods to to hire the employee. So from the EEG signal, from the EEG pattern recognition, we can know the future employee, the behavior or the characters of the human. So now most of the company, human resource companies, human resource department in the companies, they tend to use this pattern recognitions to characterize employee behavior. Okay, next, open challenges. Variability in EEG signal. So for your information, our brain, the weight of our brain is around 1.5 kilogram, and it's keep continuous producing electrical or current signals, which is that signals is very non-stationary. It change in microseconds. So it's highly variability and non-stationary. It can change from day to day, and it also can change based on your emotion. If you are in relaxed, different method. If you are angry, different method, and etc. So now what is open challenge is to recognize the pattern the pattern changes within the time and also within the mood changes. And then the second thing is the, again, lack of large data set. When we have a large or huge number of data set, we are worried about the privacy and confidentials of this data, and then securing AI models used in EEG. Okay, so and finally, again, securing the AI model themselves that process EEG signals, since adversarial attack can target them too. So in short, the promise is great for the EEG for biometric, but the path forward requires solving both technical and ethical challenges. So again, ethical challenges is still hotly debated among the researchers about this. Okay, now ethics and privacy. Okay, as exciting as these applications are, there is difficult questions of ethics and privacy. So if you are collecting the data, who owns your brain data? This is like your passcode. Okay, always all people brings their passcode. So it cannot be easily exposed to other people. So, or it will become the big issues after that. Okay, and other the brain data we keep by individual, the employer or the company providing the EEG device. Okay, and then informed consent become critical in neurotechnology. So people must know what is being recorded and how it will be used. So again, ethical issue will be raised by hospitals, okay, because we need to keep this is like a secret, okay, for us to keep. And then there's a darker possibility of brain hacking. Okay, brain hacking is a very serious problem where our neural signals could be stolen or manipulated. Okay, this is a few things that they need to put into considerations. Okay, what are the future research directions? Okay, looking ahead, there are several important research directions. Number one is must be large-scale EEG biometric repositories. We need a very big, okay, standardized data set to improve accuracy and robustness. Okay, either we want or we don't want, we need to go further this technology. And then the second thing is post-quantum cryptography, as I mentioned before. Okay, this is the future-proofing brain data against quantum attack. It will attack, so we must prepare for the post-quantum cryptography. And then number three is a secure and explainable AI. Models that not only perform well, but can be also trusted and always been audited. And interdisciplinary collaboration, either neuroscience, computer engineering, ethics, and law must be worked together to make sure that all the data processed and they keep safe, trusted, and audited. So in other words, the future of cybersecurity is not just technical, but we can call it neurotechnical. Okay. Then, okay, this brings us to the conclusions of our session. Before that, let me recap the key insight before we open the questions. So key takeaway, cybersecurity threats are evolve fast. Again, I would like to highlight here, our cybersecurity very evolving fast, but the defense is late and left behind. So actually when we open the doors, open the windows for the digitalizations, in the same time we need to secure in terms of the defense or cybersecurity system. And our 5 research gaps remain: human-centric, AI or machine learning, IoT, quantum and policy and government should be strengthened, and EEG promising new biometric frontier. So as I mentioned you before, it's a
bright future to explore, since it's a biometric frontier with potential for continuously authentication and stress detections. But the challenges remain, okay, in terms of the variability, in terms of the privacy, in terms of the ethics, in terms how we want to keep the data safe. And so the message is cybersecurity is no longer just about firewalls, okay, and password. It's about protecting a very signal that makes us human. So once the signal, EEG signals, is a biometric signals. Once it's brain hacking, so it's like actually you expose your own password. All right. So I would like to share about the all right. The recent research in my university is we working on the EEG signal. Plus, okay, we combine with the gate analysis. Okay, gate analysis is the methods or the pattern how people works. Okay, every people have their own method people work. The way the framework how you are working is different with from other people to other people. So when we combine these brain signals and gate analysis, we found that we can get 95% accuracy to authenticate humans. Okay, and EEG signal, so for your information, okay, EEG signal also brings a different pattern between insects gender. For example, if you are male and female, so they have their own patterns, male and female. The way they react with the situation also different. Okay, for example, if female, they react with the stress, the parameters also different. No, the parameters still same, but how they react, the trigger point is a difference. So from there, we can see, we can prove that EEG signals can be used as one of the tools to characterize the people not only in behavior, but also in terms of the stress response among gender. Okay. So one of the way we use the EEG signals in neurofeedback, okay, in my study, neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is actually we train how our brain works. Okay, if our brain patterns works messy, so that is the one of the reason why autism patients hyperactive and etc. So actually we have a treatments, we call it neurofeedback treatments to regulate the brain pattern so that the brain their brain activities works well, and like we reset back to reduce the activeness of the brain activity. So that's, we call it neurofeedback treatment for example, autism patients. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for your kind attentions. I hope that this session spark new ideas for collaboration between VIT-AP universities and UNIMED. So maybe we can collaborate, okay, between cybersecurity research and neuroscientists, computer engineering, all works together to cater these issues. Okay, so I'll be very happy to take your questions, comments, and thoughts. If you have any questions, I would like to open the floor for the questions.
Participants, please unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Okay, maybe you can ask about the EEG biometric. So actually, it's hotly debated now in research. Any questions?
Participants, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can ask the questions. Yeah, Anumula? If not, maybe you can write the question in chat sessions.
One second, madam. Someone raised the hand, I think.
Yeah.
Kanimuzi Katiravan, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Yes, Anumula Bhargavi. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask question.
Okay, I'm open for the discussion, and if you have any idea to share, don't just make it like as a lecture, okay? Let's we discuss. If you have any thought, if you have any discussion, any ideas, okay, you are welcome to share. They raise their hand, but no questions. Dr. Rao?
Yes, madam.
Wait, they raise their hand.
Yes, madam. They raised the hand. I'm also reminding them.
If they shy, I think I can write down the question in chat sessions.
Yes, sir. In chat box, you can write the question.
Yeah.
If you are unable to unmute, you can write the question in the chat box. We'll give 2 more minutes, madam. We'll wait for 2 more minutes, and if there are no questions, we'll switch over to next session, madam. We'll wait for 2 minutes, madam.
All right. Okay. Okay, do you know any data privacy laws in India? Is it you have any data privacy laws to keep our data from outsiders? If anything you not understand or you are not clear about the cybersecurity and the EEG systems, can you welcome to us?
Madam, I got a message, madam. Actually, they are unable to unmute on their own. So, and they didn't get the chat box also. Please wait, madam.
Okay.
2 more minutes. I'll try to unmute them.
Okay. Okay, these questions come from Ganapati, cybersecurity in e-governance applications.
Madam, there is a question, madam. What are the serious threat for the? Yes, madam. You can read. Yes, yes, madam.
Okay, this question, what are the serious threats for the cybersecurity and how to solve it? Okay, one of the methods they use in, for example, I have my own experience in serious threat for, I'm working on the serious treatment in hospital and I healthcare. So how we overcome this problem is actually the attackers, they ask for the money. One of the attackers it come from the Korea, so they hack our system, okay, which is the WannaCry ransomware. They are hack the system, healthcare systems, and then if we are if we don't want to pay a certain amount of the money, they will hack. So what happened in UK that times? So they don't pay, and they just create a new one. So after that, what UK's government did is they increased the firewalls of these cybersecurity systems to overcome this serious threat. So they overcome, they upgrade all the system, the new system, which is the, if I'm not mistaken, the anti-WannaCry firewall. So all the hospitals now, they prepared for the what we call it, what we call it. They prepared for the, let's have a term use. Okay, they prepared for the quantum cryptography system. Sorry, okay. The post-quantum cryptography, PQC, to overcome this. Can you please send me the WhatsApp group link for this FDP? Okay, that's not the questions. What is the current status of quantum computing in terms of cybersecurity? Okay, now in this quantum, the current status now is they still working on, it's still under study, and they anticipate that this quantum system will be bombed in 10 to 20 years. If this happen, for example, Microsoft, Google already works on this. Okay, they works on this. Next is the brain signal try as authentication option in Malaysia. All right, now in current research in Malaysia, in university, we working on the data collections to increase, to get a huge data repositories. So it's still new even in Malaysia, okay, but we are working on that. For example, the first step is to study the patterns of people carry, for example, for human authentication system. But in my lab, the study is success, which is 90%, 95% accuracy. But the problem is still a small data because we do it in the university settings, people with university students around that. So actually it's not enough in data set, okay? So Venu. Next question, what are the best practice for protecting employees who handle financial transactions? Okay, this is the question by the Nagarajan. What are best practice for protecting employees who handle financial transactions? Okay, nowadays in hospital setting, in a bank systems, in the university, employees who carries this big task, okay, financial transaction, they have used encryptions. Okay, now encryption, which is like RSA and ECC encryption system. Nowadays we use that. However, they are, sorry?
Sorry for the interruption, Dr. Saidatul. Dear participants, and now you can unmute and you can ask the questions, please. Yeah, ma'am, you can tell it.
Okay, hello?
Madam, good evening. Your sessions are very interesting actually.
Okay.
First time I am seeing EEG can be used for cybersecurity. Very good.
Okay.
Actually. First time actually. But two things I want to ask you. I am a professor. I am a retired from scientist, retired from a National Informatics Center. So I have more than 40 years experience of e-governance. So for the past 30 years, what we are seeing is the real threat will be in different angle actually. So how to, through EEG method or some biometric, which you are telling, how to prevent that web attack or something like that, cyber attacks? Can you give any solution? Because here so many of our websites are hacked. Okay, very difficult to see that, all government websites. So what we can do for that? So I am Ganapati. Okay.
Actually, I'm not clear your questions.
No, you are telling.
We are not clear. Hello?
No, I am actually, you are telling, madam, 5 important things you are told. Actually, human and quantum threats, number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are told. So whether it is applicable to even e-governance applications, that I want to know that. E-governance means central excise, income tax, so many websites are there. So many public is accessing, municipal corporation, all that. E-Sevas. You got it what I am saying, madam?
I'm not clear. Maybe you can type the questions in the chat board. I'm not clear, sorry.
Clear, no, madam, what they are actually asking, whether is it possible for e-governance cyber security?
Yes, with your solution, which you are giving. Can we implement?
Okay, for now in Malaysia, we still not, I think not possible to implement in e-governance in Malaysia. But okay. I'm not sure in your country.
You don't have experience on that. Okay.
No, I don't have experience on that because I'm working on the healthcare sessions.
Healthcare domain. Even hospitals, I'm saying GH. Actually, GH also one of our users only. government hospitals, AIMS, all that. Hospital domain also you can just tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Your session is good actually, in a different way.
Thank you. If we have an idea,
Ma'am,
maybe we
actually
can
the
collaborate after
question,
this.
ma'am, actually the question is asked. There are so many public data available, right? So
Yes.
what are the security measures people should take, or sir is asking hospitality governance everywhere.
Yes,
Means
sir.
how to
Yes, sir.
how to make a basic data protection, because now today data is money. So many data, fake data, other things are with AI, so many things are coming. So there are a lot of public data. So it's a very generic thing. For example, I go to a website, I give my data, and sometimes if you go and see that if you have I been pawned and all, your data is somewhere being breached. Data breach is there. The data is being compromised. So what are the basic
Data
security or
breach. Data breach.
precautionary measures to be taken so that it can be mitigated? So that the basic questions that is asking it.
Even finance domain also. Finance also one of the now all digital transactions are taking place. Very dangerous actually. That's why madam can give any solution for that.
Actually, in our system, even in Malaysia, actually, honestly speaking, is in Malaysia, our system also very low encryption system.
Okay, madam. Okay.
Very low, yeah. Because for example, same. I'm not sure in India, but in a in Malaysia, our system is very low encryption system nowadays. Maybe you can share with me what happened in the scenario in India, how you get to this.
No, we have separate type of people. Actually, security audit before hosting any website. Security audit actually, normally security audit, even a single line code change is there. So it has to be audited pakka. Yeah, for vulnerabilities or everything they are seeing actually. Then only we are hosting actually. Normally. But even then, firewalls, hardware firewalls, all that there, still attacks are coming actually.
I think the firewalls is quite common here, but still breach.
Yes, you are right, madam.
But as we know that it says cybersecurity is quite rapidly growth, but the defense is quite late.
Yes.
I think same goes to the your country maybe.
EEG, first time we are hearing actually. I am hearing actually. Good actually. That thing we can utilize on that. The technology.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much, Dr. Ardina, for an enlightening and deeply insightful session. We are grateful for your valuable perspectives, madam. If you please share your email ID, madam, then the participants can be in touch with you for further work and whatever they want to share. Please share your email ID, madam, through chat box.
Okay,
Thank you,
maybe I
madam.
can put it in my chat box, right?
Yes, madam.
Okay, you can contact me.
Thank you, Dr. Saidatul. Thank you for your valuable information. We do a collaboration research in future.
Okay, I'm happy to present with you. Okay, maybe you can contact me. Okay, saidatul.idmap.edu.my in my chat box. If you have any ideas or if you have any research that we can collaborate together, so you are mostly welcome to email me. Okay, thank you for all for your kind attentions and hoping that maybe we can keep in touch. And if you have any ideas, you are most welcome to share. Okay, to contact me.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, Dr.
madam.
Anu. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, bye. See you. Good night. In Malaysia, we 10 o'clock already.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dear participants, actually that materials and video links we shared later. Every day we share through mail, and video streams also we shared through YouTube. That link also shared to you. Video recordings we share.
Okay, sir. Moving on to our next session, it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Karthik N, distinguished expert in the field of computer science and cybersecurity. Let me give a brief introduction about Dr. Karthik N. Dr. Karthik N is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the National Institute of Technology, Puducherry, Karaikal. He received his PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from National Institute of Technology, Karnataka, and his ME in Pervasive Computing Technology from Anna University, Trichy. With over 13 years of teaching experience and more than 5 years of dedicated research experience, his research interests span across Internet of Things, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. He has authored more than 30 international research articles and serves as a reviewer for reputed journals, including Springer, Wireless Personal Communications, Wireless Networks, Personal and Ubiquitous Computing. Dr. Karthik has been a recipient of MHRD Fellowship during his PhD and was also awarded the CSIR Fellowship, Government of India, to pursue research interaction as visiting scholar at the University of Technology, Sydney, Australia. He has actively participated in international collaborations and conferences with academic visits to China, Singapore, Malaysia, and Australia, etc. So let us extend a warm welcome to Dr. Karthik N. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Karthik, sir, just a minute. Yeah. Just give one small information to participants. Dear participants, every day we can use the same link for all the sessions for Google Meet link, and for every session we share the different feedback link. So feedback link shared through your mail ID and WhatsApp group and chat box. So Google Meet link is same for all the 6 days. Thank you. Dr. Karthik sir, please welcome sir and start the process. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope it is audible.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
அல்ல அந்த ஆப்ஷன் இல்லையே. இப்ப பாரு இந்த வரும் பாரு இப்ப இந்த இதுதான் சாட்.
I hope my screen is visible. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yeah, sir. It's visible.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session on Zero Trust Infinite Security, a new cyber paradigm. So I am Dr. Karthik from the Department of CSE at NIT Puducherry. I would like to thank the organizing team of FDP, FDP on cybersecurity and applications for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and engage with you all today. So in this session, we look at how cybersecurity is evolved from traditional models, traditional security, to more adaptive approaches in the recent time. So here I'm going to introduce the zero trust, which is built on the principle of a saying called never trust, always verify. And also we'll look beyond that, which we'll call as an infinite security, forward-looking vision that combines the recent technologies like AI, blockchain, and quantum methods to create resilient defenses against the evolving threats. So my goal is to connect the current challenges in implementing the zero trust and the solutions we are going to discuss now, and I'm going to suggest some future directions as research directions, and we should work on that. By the end, I hope you will see how the zero trust and the infinite security work together to have a refined cybersecurity for both industry as well as the academia. So this is my agenda. We'll begin with the cybersecurity landscape by looking at the rise of threats like ransomware, phishing, and various breaches in the IoT environment, and why digital trust is becoming so critical in the recent days. Next, we'll move into zero trust principles, that is the idea of never trust, always verify, and also see why these traditional perimeter-based models are not longer enough. From there, I will introduce an infinite security vision, and then we'll explore some application and the case studies. Following that, we'll look at some research opportunities and the policies, both at the global level as well as at the Indian level. And finally, we'll discuss about some future directions. So this is our roadmap for the session, from moving from challenges through zero trust foundations to future vision of infinite security. So as we begin, let's ask ourselves, why does security matter so much today? So this slide contains some numbers. The number speaks very loudly. Like the cybercrime is projected to cost the world more than $10.5 trillion by 2025 December. So this is not just a statistic or a fact. It represents the loss of revenue, reputational damage to various organizations, and the disturbed services across various sectors. And we are seeing a sharp increase in the ransomware attacks, phishing attacks, and IoT-related breaches, with billions of devices connected together in IoT. Each one becomes a potential entry point for the attackers. So they are the weak entry points for the attackers. So it's not only about the external threats we are talking about. The main thing is the inside attackers, insiders, and the supply chain risk. These are all very dangerous ones when compared to external attacks. So above all, what's at the stake is digital trust. So whether it's a customer trusting the online banking, or a patient trusting the healthcare data and the data maintenance, data organization, citizen trusting the e-governance. So the security underpins everything. So without trust, the digital transformation cannot succeed. So that's why the security is very, very important in the today's environment. So one of the biggest challenges we face today is it's not about the number of cyber attacks we are having, but their growing sophistication. So nowadays, the attackers are not relying on the simple program or a simple malware or a worm. They are using some advanced technologies like they are using AI-driven phishing attacks, AI-driven deepfakes. So they are using artificial intelligence methods to launch the attack, and they are targeting the huge money behind it, the wealth of data. Okay, they are targeting the data. This leads to the serious erosion of user trust. So every time when a customer hears about the data breach in an organization or in a bank or even in the healthcare system that is being hacked, the confidence level in the digital world weakens. So, and in the today's connected world, trust is everything. So the level of confidence is getting reduced when the user is hearing some news about the data breach in a bank, a data breach in the government sector, a data breach in the healthcare system. So the consequence of this data breach go far beyond the financial loss. It's not only about the financial loss. So it directly impacts the privacy of user, the reputation of an organization, reputation of a government, and the credibility. So for organizations, once the trust is broken, so once for a government or an organization, when the trust is broken, it takes years to build. Sometimes it takes decades to build, but it takes only a few seconds to break it. So that is the sophistication we have in the current AI-based attacks. So it is very difficult to build the trust. It will take years together. Okay, so these kinds of cyber crime and the digital trust is why we need a shift in the mindset. The traditional methods are no longer enough. Like why? Because attackers are using AI methods to launch, and nowadays they are using quantum computers to break the very difficult algorithms. They are taking only a few minutes to break the. They are generating the key with the help of a quantum machines. So the traditional methods are no longer enough, and this is where the frameworks and the systems like zero trust become so important, so vital in the today's digital world. So to understand why this new zero trust and the infinite security are necessary, so let's briefly look at the notable cyber attacks. So the first one is the SolarWinds supply chain attack. So it comprises of thousands of organizations globally, including the government agencies. So the attackers infiltrated the trusted software updates, proving that even the vendors we rely on, they used to send the updates and the patches, right? So they came into these software updates itself. Okay, and we used to rely on the vendors. So usually the vendors, software vendors as well as hardware vendors, they used to send the updates regularly. They send the updates. So the attackers used that power to came into our digital devices and they attacked everything. And the second one is the pipeline ransomware attack. So it's in the United States, the fuel supply, highlighting how the cyber incidents can directly impact on the infrastructure and in our everyday life. So that is one of the attacks. And the third one is WannaCry worm, so which spreads across more than 100 countries in the last decade. I think it is in 2017. So it targeted various hospitals, various business organizations, and in various government offices. So the lesson from all these attacks, notable cyber attacks, is very clear. Traditional security is not at all enough. So we need approaches like zero trust, and that is the never trust, always verify, and the broader vision of infinite security to ensure the resilience against the present as well as the future trust. So when you look at the global cyber security market, the numbers are gaining. Numbers are again speak for themselves. So spending on cyber security is projected to cross $250 billion by 2026. So this particular figure shows that the government, even the startup, they are recognizing the security as a top priority. It's not generally it's not just an IT function. So that is the highest priority. Even the startup also, they are spending so much of amount to provide the security. So one of the strongest trends with the growth is the rapid adoption of zero trust framework. So the organizations are moving away from the traditional security models. I mean the perimeter-based security models, and they are trying to invest in the identity management. They are trying to invest in the continuous verification, user verification, authentication, and authorization schemes. At the same time, the adoption, the usage of cloud and IoT are emerging as a top one in today's world. So the cloud and IoT security are emerging as a top focus area. So with the workloads moving towards the remote work from remote places, the cloud and the billions of IoT devices are being connected every day to the internet. So protecting this platform as always a critical one. So that we see here is not about just raising the spending, I mean the budget, but a strategic shift is how that money is being spent. So towards the approaches like zero trust and the technologies that enable more adaptive and future-proof security. So before we understand why the zero trust become necessary, let's just revisit the traditional security model, that is a perimeter-based security model. It is also called as castle moat approach actually. So this idea is very simple. So build a stronger defense. I mean, build an outer defense. Like you are going to have a firewall, intrusion detection system, and you are going to have a VPN. Once someone was inside the network, inside the
body, it regulates
inside the network, they are considered as trusted one. Just like when you cross the moat, you are safe inside the castle. So this approach assumes that the internal networks are safe. Only the external world was dangerous. For many years, this model worked reasonably well, especially when the employees and systems are located. Employees and systems are worked inside a secure environment. But the main differences were they have used VPNs and the firewalls, protecting the boundary. But as we see, we will in the next slide, in the upcoming slides, we are going to discuss about the rise of cloud computing, the evolution of mobile devices, IoT. So to make this model as outdated. So the cloud computing, IoT devices, mobile devices made this particular perimeter-based security model as outdated one. So attackers are now bypass this mode and move laterally inside the castle and often undetected. So that's why we need to move beyond this perimeter-based security into a new paradigm. So the biggest weakness of perimeter model is what we call as an implicit trust problem. The model assumes that if you are inside the network, you are safe and trusted. This means that once an employee or a user, I mean the device or an application gain access, they are usually, no further checks on what they can do. So once it is authorized, when the user or an application gain access, that's all, no further checks will be done on them. But in reality, this assumption is very, very dangerous. For example, if an attacker managed to compromise just one credential, an employee credential, and the unhappy employee is inside the environment, okay, then he may inject a malware into a particular organization, or an attacker from the outside, it just compromise one credential of particular employee or someone of an application. Malware enters into the network. The attacker becomes inside. The system assumes that whoever comes inside, they are safe, and the attackers move laterally, accessing the sensitive data and remain undetected for a longer period of time. So this means that the implicit trust is exactly what the attackers want to target. So it is why the traditional perimeter model, security model, is no longer sufficient for today's world. And it is the starting point for everyone to think about the security through zero trust, where no one is trusted automatically. If you are inside or if you are outside, no one is trusted automatically. So every time when you are accessing something, then you will be asked to enter your credentials and you will be checked every time. So the limitations of a perimeter-based security becomes even clear when you are in the age of the remote work, cloud computing, and the IoT devices. So with the rise of cloud services, the traditional perimeter has effectively broken actually. So the data and applications are no longer resides only within the organization, because you will be working somewhere and you will be working remotely, and you will be connecting your personal devices, and you will be using a public network to access the organizational data, secret data. So which makes the idea of a fixed secure boundary almost meaningless. On the top of this, we are going to have billions of IoT devices. They are expanding their network. They are expanding the attack surface. So we will be having cameras, we will be having smartwatches, we will be having everyday household devices, medical devices, industrial controllers, all are connected to internet. But we are not securing them, all the devices, even our light bulb, even our watch. Okay, many of them lack strong security mechanisms. So attackers sees this as an entry point, easy entry point to launch the attack on the organization. So if you are going with them, if you are wearing a watch, smartwatch that is connected to an internet, we are not securing our watch with a strong security mechanism. So the attackers will see that particular IoT device as an entry point, easy entry point. So in short, so the perimeter model cannot cope with the distributed and the dynamic environments like cloud computing and IoT. So this is why we need a shift, paradigm shift, in which we approach the cybersecurity. So all of this bring to a crucial point, the need for the paradigm shift in cybersecurity. The first, the perimeter is no longer relevant because we are moving out of the boundary. We are working with the help of a cloud. We are working with the help of mobile devices, remote work. We cannot clearly define what is inside, what is outside, and the wall of the castle has now disappeared. Okay. The second is the trust assumption have failed. Assume that the internal devices, internal users are safe, has proven to be one of the biggest weaknesses in the current world. So the attackers are now using this. I mean, they are exploiting this trust to move laterally and reach the critical data as a critical assets inside the organization. And finally, the third one is we are dealing with the expanded attack surface from the billions of IoT devices to the interconnected, even the supply chain network. Every connection that increases the number of entry points for the attackers. So if a user is wearing a IoT device, it may be any type of a device, even the device which is monitoring its physiological signal or the smartwatch. He will be working from remote location, and you will be accessing some critical data or critical asset of an organization. So that IoT device will be seen as an entry point by the attacker. So this is why the cybersecurity cannot be just it's not all about the firewalls or VPNs anymore. So we need a new model, a new framework or new philosophy. That is where the zero trust and ultimately the infinite security come in. So this bring as to the central idea of today's session, that is called zero trust. So at its core, zero trust is based on a simple but a powerful principle. Very, very simple principle. Never trust anything, always verify. So it does not matter whether the user or a device are inside the campus or inside the corporate network or outside. No one is trusted automatically. Every request, every access request will be verified. So another key idea in the zero trust is assume there is a breach mindset. Instead of hoping the network is safe, always assume that there is a breach. And we operate as if the attackers may be inside a network or maybe inside our organization. So this particular mindset forces us continuously validate, continuously continuously verify the identity, continuously verify the permissions, and continuously monitor the activity of everyone. So always we assume that there is a data breach, there is an attack inside our organization. So this is the key idea behind the zero trust. So the zero trust also requires the continuous authentication. So it's not enough to log in once and get unrestricted access. So instead of that, user identity, device health, and also the context that plays a major role. Contexts are being checked repeatedly, not only once. Repeatedly, we are going to check maybe every half an hour or every time when you are accessing. So your identity, device health, everything will be checked, ensuring that security is a continuous process, ongoing process, and it should be adaptive. So in short, we can say zero trust is not a single product, and it's not a tool. It's not a add-on to the existing process. So it's a framework that fundamentally, basically, that changes how we think about the access, how we think about the trust, how we think about the defense. So we talked about the zero trust in the last slide. Now let's break into the core principles of zero trust. The first one is the least privilege access. So user and the devices are given only the minimum level of access needed to do their job, so nothing more. So this particular core principle reduces the potential damage if the credentials are compromised. So we are going to assume that we are going to give a minimum level of access that is required to everyone. The second one is micro-segmentation. In micro-segmentation, so instead of treating the entire network as a bigger one, we are going to divide the network into, we are going to segment the network into multiple zones or multiple smaller zones. So this way, even the attacker gets into a particular zone, still we can protect them from the other zones. Okay. So the third one is a continuous verification. The security is not about one-time check. So every time, every action, every request will be verified against the policies to ensure that all the users, all the devices are legitimate to have access. And finally, the strong identity management. So whether it is a user or a device or an application, are at the center of the zero trust. So if it is a user, you can go for multi-factor authentication. Even biometrics, you can have any type of multi-factor authentication, not only with the username and the password. There will be multiple levels of checks. Biometrics can be used to have a strong identity management. So these are all the core principles of your zero trust. So together, these principles are going to form the foundation for the environment which adapts, which implement the zero trust framework, ensuring that the access is controlled, every process, every request is being monitored, and it should be adaptive all the times. And after the principles, core principles, now we are going to discuss about the core pillars of zero trust. So there are areas where zero trust policies should be, must be applied consistently. So the first pillar is identity. Every user, whether it is an employee or a customer or the investor or a partner, must be strongly authenticated and authorized. Without identity assurance, the entire process, the security collapses. So this is very, very important, identity. The second pillar is devices. So we need to ensure that start from your desktop system or a laptop, smartphone, IoT devices, and all other the big servers connecting to our application or connecting to our system are secure and they are compliant. The compromised device should not get the same level of access as the empty one. So we are going to check the device. We are going to ensure that all are equipped with security levels. All are secure. And the next one is a network. So traffic inside the network should not be trusted blindly. So micro-segmentation, continuous monitoring are essential to detect the unusual activity or to detect the anomalies. So then we have an application as one of the core principles. So each and every application must ensure that least privilege principles, ensuring the authorized users are accessing the authorized material what they need. And another critical pillar is the data. So we'll be storing the sensitive data, protecting the sensitive data. Maybe we can use encryption. You can go for identifying the critical information, classifying the critical information, and put it over the storage with one more security zone, access control to the secured information is the heart of zero trust. And finally, we have a last pillar as an infrastructure. So this particular pillar includes the on-premises systems, on-premises server. Maybe you can have a cloud workloads or hybrid environments. So the policy must be extended to include all these types of not only the on-premises devices. With the help of a cloud, with the help of a hybrid environment, we should enforce the security layers. So together, these six pillars ensure that the zero trust is applied end to end, from identity to infrastructure, leaving no weak entry point in the particular supply chain environment or in the business organization. There should not be any weak entry point for the attackers. So this is very, very important. That is zero trust architecture. So we discussed about the principle and we discussed about the pillars. Let's bring together into architecture that is called zero trust architecture. I just adapted this architecture from NAST. So this particular architecture, it's a circular one actually. The architecture begins with the identity and the device verification. So before granting an access, the system checks who is the user and whether the device is secure or not. Next is access control. The policies are enforced to ensure that a user or a device gets an access what they truly need based on the least privilege mechanism. They are going to get their access. And then comes the protection of data as well as the application. Sensitive data is encrypted. Application is going to enforce the strong control and access limited to the authorized person only. And finally, we are going to have a continuous monitoring. This is where the system never stop never stop watching the devices, identity, data moving in, moving out, and the application. So every action, every request, every data transfer is analyzed in real time to detect the anomalies, suspicious behavior, or any potential data breaches. So instead of having a one-time checkpoint, so this particular architecture creates a continuous validation and continuous monitoring across all the layers: identity, devices, apps, applications, data, network. So this makes the particular environment much more resilient to the cyber attacks. So to really understand the value of zero trust, so let's have a comparison between the traditional security model. So the traditional security model is a perimeter-based security model. So building a wall around the network, everything inside is trusted. On the other hand, zero trust, you are going to build a security that is based on identity-based. Access is determined not only by the location in the network, but by the user and what the devices they are using and the context from where they are accessing, at what time they are accessing. So everything is recorded. So the second point is the traditional security relied on the static controls. So once you log in with a credential, I mean the passwords, if you are connected through VPN, you are granted access with very few clicks. You will be granted an access, but that's all. After getting the access, you are safe and you are equipped with all the data. Okay, but in the zero trust replaces with the continuous verification. Every action requires an authentication and authorization process. Every request is validated, and the trust is never assumed. That's why it is called zero trust. So the traditional security was built for a time when everything was inside one secure network. Zero trust is designed for today's world, the world of cloud, world of remote work, the world of IoT, and the advanced AI-based sophisticated cyber attacks, cyber threats. So yes, to see the zero trust in the practice or in the action, one of our best known tech giant called Google, they came up with the Beyond Crop initiative. So traditionally, employees needed a VPN to connect securely to a company or an organization system from outside. If you are doing work from remote location, you need a VPN. So this particular, the company called Google, they eliminated the need of VPN. Instead of that, they introduced context-aware access. That means the access is based on who is the user, what kind of device they are using, and the location, the time, and the sensitivity of resource they are trying to access. So you will be authorized, the authentication and the authorization will be done based on the context awareness, based on the user, based on the device, based on the location, based on the time, based on the sensitivity, the level of resource they are trying to access. So in Beyond Crop, user and the devices are continuously evaluated. For example, even if you log in successfully today evening, the system will keep checking throughout the. Suppose if you are doing a night shift, you logged in successfully today evening, but the system will keep checking you throughout the shift. Your device is still healthy, whether you are trying to access something abnormal, that is something unusual, whether his location is consistent, the location is jumping from one to some other coordinates. So this is all about the context awareness. So this model has allowed the Google employees to work securely from anywhere in the world without depending on the traditional perimeter-based security model. So it's a great example of how a zero trust framework can be applied successfully in a large complex environment like Google. So another example is zero trust in NIST as well as in Microsoft. So the NIST, the National Institute of Standard and Technology, they developed an official zero trust architecture. They introduced a zero trust standard. Zero trust standard in their publication. They came up with the publication. So from there I adopted the architecture and a few points. So they came up with a guideline. They provided a standard framework for organization and other a business organization to implement the particular concept called as zero trust. I mean, they came up with the policies for each and every entity. I mean, for identity, the policies for devices, policies for a user, policies for a network, and for all the pillars, even for continuous monitoring also, they define the policies. On the industry side, for example, if you take a Microsoft, Microsoft has fully embraced zero trust in their enterprise environment. They focus on 3 principles: verify explicitly, and they even used least privilege access, and they always assume that there is a breach in the environment. So they integrated the zero trust in Microsoft Azure, so their cloud provider in Office 365 and various Windows platforms, ensuring that the enterprise even can adopt their principles seamlessly across their cloud. If you are using Microsoft Azure, it is coming as an inbuilt one. So if you are using Office 365, there you can find a zero trust. Okay, so even the enterprises, even other organizations, those who are using these services, they can seamlessly use the zero trust as across their infrastructures. So this combination of global standard from NIST as well as the real-world implementation of Microsoft shows that zero trust is no longer just a theoretical model. They have implemented, and it's a new beginning. It's a new baseline for cyber security worldwide. They have shown to the cyber world that it can be implemented. Even the tech giants like Google and Microsoft, they have implemented in their products. Okay, so how do we implement zero trust in our day-to-day life or in the practice? So there are some series of steps we need to follow. We have discussed about the principles, architecture, and the implementation of zero trust in the industries. Now the next question is, how do we implement zero trust in practice? So the first step is to identify the protect surface. So instead of trying to secure everything, maybe at once, you're trying to secure everything at once. Focus only on the critical assets, critical data, critical infrastructure, whether it is a customer data or whether it's a financial information or any IR. So I mean intellectual property. So you first identify the important assets, critical assets in your organization or in your business. That is identifying the protect surface. Then next is map the transaction flows. So try to understand how user or a device and an application interact with the critical assets. And this particular step helps to identify how really the critical assets are being accessed. And once if you see the flow, transaction flow, then you can implement how this particular access can be controlled. The third step is architect the zero trust environment. So this step involves applying dividing the surface. I mean, dividing the network into. I mean, you are going to do the segmentation here. Dividing the zones, dividing the bigger zones into smaller zones, micro segmentation, and you go with the identity-based access control. That is architecting the zero trust environment. And fourth, we are going to create the policies. So here the policies are like exactly you are going to mention who can have access, to the critical assets, under which condition, and what level of verification they are supposed to pass when you want to access very critical information. So those policies you are going to frame. And finally, monitor and maintain. Zero trust is not about one-point project. It's not a one-point verification. It's an ongoing process. Continuous monitoring will be there, continuous analysis will be there, continuous updates will be there. So everything is continuous. Continuously you need to monitor and continuously you need to maintain this analytics, monitoring updates are required to keep the particular business and organization or a system adaptive and resilient. So the implementation, when you want to implement the zero trust, the implementation is about starting with very small steps, focusing on the critical assets, and then expanding it slowly, expand gradually across the entire enterprise or entire organization. So this is how you are going to implement the zero trust. Okay. Right. What are the challenges? Of course, the zero trust sounds very ideal one, but implementing in the real world becomes challenging one, because the first challenge is cost. Deploying advanced identity systems, continuous monitoring, and dividing the network into zones can be expensive, and it requires more resources, especially if you are a startup. If you want to implement zero trust, funding is the cost, and there will be a lot of complexities, especially for small and medium startup organizations. It is very difficult. Second one is a legacy system. Many organizations they still rely on old application and old infrastructure. They were never designed with the zero trust in mind, actually. So interesting. Integrating these particular legacy systems into the modern zero trust framework is very, very difficult. So legacy, you will be using the organization might be running for last 20 years. They will be using the same old system to run the organization. Implementing zero trust in the existing legacy system is very, very difficult. And the third one we must consider is balancing user experience. If authentication and authorization process are too strict, are too complex process for a user, then the user may feel fluctuated. If you keep on asking some questions just to validate the user, then the user may feel fluctuated, and it will affect your business, obviously. User may switch from your business, your organization to some other organization because of multiple factor authentication. You are asking the credentials to be entered every time, and a lot of multi-factor authentication, biometrics authentication, many things are there. So you need to balance the user experience also. You need to design the zero trust in such a way that it should ensure security as well as it should balance the user experience also. And finally, the skill gaps. Implementing the zero trust requires expertise in cybersecurity. You might be working in some other domain, but since your organization, your business is connected to the cyber world, you need a skill set. Okay, in the cybersecurity, you need expertise in identity management, continuous monitoring skills, so which are not always available with the organization or within the business environment. So you need to hire a specialist, security specialist, cybersecurity personnel to implement the zero trust. So while the zero trust is a right direction in the current cyber world, but organization must approach it step by step, addressing all these challenges: cost, complexity, integration with the old system, balancing the experience, user experience. Everything we need to approach step by step, so that we can implement the zero trust. So here is a real world example of how the zero trust can be worked in a large enterprise setting. So this particular, if you take an organization or an enterprise, they faced recurring ransomware incidents, which not only caused the financial damage or a loss of revenue, but also there will be a reputation damage. There are also a disturb in the day-to-day operations. Okay, so after moving to zero trust model, they applied a strict verification, divided the network, segmented the network, and they enforced continuous monitoring. So because of that, the ransomware has had, very fewer opportunity to spread. So they were able to reduce the impact of ransomware dramatically. And another key benefit is in the area of compliance and audit. With the zero trust, every request, every data interaction is being recorded, is being logged. This gave the auditor in the enterprise level, there will be an auditor. This particular step gave auditors a clear, traceable record of who accessed what and when they accessed, from where they have accessed, whether they have used a eligible device to access. So everything will be recorded, everything will be logged. So it made the compliance reporting very faster, and they have strengthened the company's reputation for accountability and security. So this particular case study at the enterprise level shows that zero trust does not, it's not only improving the cyber resilience, but also they are becoming stronger in terms of governance and also in the compliance and in the audit process. And if you take, let's move into the financial and the banking sector, where the trust and security are more critical. Absolutely, they are critical. So one of the key application of your zero trust is fraud detection. So by continuously you are going to verify the user identity, monitoring the unusual pattern. Banks can quickly flag the suspicious activities. Suppose if you are doing the login from multiple locations from multiple devices, then or an unusual transaction, volume of transaction, then you are going to detect. So the zero trust also ensuring that secure digital transactions. Every time, every request to an access to a financial data, or when you are initiating a payment, that is verified in real time, reducing the risk of account takeovers or account unauthorized transfer. And also, the financial institutions face a very strict rules from, for example, from RBI. In India, they have given the guidelines. So with the zero trust, they can maintain the detailed log. If something goes wrong, with the help of zero trust, you can have access to the logs. Okay, you can enforce the least privilege access, and you can demonstrate the compliance more effectively. That is given the guidelines that is given by your RBI. So in banking as well as in the financial, zero trust is not only protect the the customer data, customer account, but also strengthen the institutional credibility, regulatory trust, and it is easy to implement the policies, that is guidelines given by the RBA or some other body. So in the healthcare sector, the first priority is protecting the patient data. Health records are highly sensitive, and breach not only violates the privacy, but also it leads to the life-threatening consequences. So zero trust ensures that only the authorized users and the verified devices can access the data by reducing the risk of leaks, data leaks, and data breaches. And the second one is we will be having a smart healthcare devices and other connected IoT systems. So these devices collect the continuous data about the patient, continuous health data, and they will be communicating with the cloud platform. So if something compromised, it could endanger patients, or the data will be misused to manipulate the data. So zero trust authentication and the continuous monitoring make sure that only the safe trusted devices can connect to this particular healthcare unit. So, and finally, nowadays there is a rise of telemedicine domain. So doctors and the patients are interacting. They are interacting remotely with the help of various digital devices and various platforms. So zero trust secures these interactions, these communications by ensuring that only the encrypted sessions is established between the doctor and the patients, verifying identities and preventing unauthorized access. So what are the lessons we have learned? So in the healthcare or in the financial or in the large enterprises, what are the lessons we have learned? So from the case studies we have discussed so far, across the enterprise, across the banking sector, across the healthcare, there are some important lessons about we have learned about the zero trust. The first one is zero trust reduces the risk significantly. Okay, and the second one is there are clear compliance benefits. So every transaction records are logged, they are recorded, making it easier to have accountability about during the audit process or during in order to meet the guidelines, in order to meet the RBI guidelines, in order to meet the maybe the institutional regulation. Okay, so there is accountability with the help of a zero trust. But at the same time, adoption remains a challenging one. Implementing zero trust requires an investment, as well as you need a skill set. Technical expertise is very demanding, and the careful, the change management is required. It's not like it's a one-time solution. It's a continuous process, but a journey that organization must commit to. It's not a short-term process; it's a long-term process. So, the zero trust is a powerful step forward that can be taken by any organization like tech giants or by a startup. But it also teaches us what we need. That we need to continue evolving, which brings us to the idea of moving from zero trust into infinite security. Okay, so slowly we are moving from zero trust into infinite security. So why we need to extend beyond? Why we need to go beyond the zero trust? So that is the question we need to ask ourselves. So the reality, the zero trust has been a major step. It's a very important step forward every organization must take. But the reality is that the existing threats are evolving even faster than our defense. Okay, so the attackers are now using artificial intelligence. They are automating everything, and even they are using deepfake to break into the system. And even the traditional zero trust is not originally designed to handle this type of AI-based attacks or automations or the deepfakes. So the threats are evolving every day. They are evolving very faster than our defenses. So this means that zero trust reduces the implicit trust and strengthens the identity. See, it is still a framework with the defined guideline or defined boundary. But the attackers today, they are not going to respect the boundaries. They move across the cloud. They move into the IoT world, and suddenly they will come into the edge. They will do everything. I mean, they will switch between the infrastructures very fastly, and they will do seamlessly switch from cloud to edge and to IoT. So this move across various domains, infrastructures very fastly. So what we need, therefore, we need an adaptive infinite defense. That is a model that goes beyond the static policy and continuously learn, adjust, and respond to the fast evolving threats. So this is where the idea of infinite security comes in. So the infinite security builds on the zero trust, but adds an AI-driven anomaly detection. And you are going to have one more technology. The series of technologies, like you're going to have AI, you're going to have a blockchain, you're going to have a quantum safe quantum cryptography, ensuring the resilience against the current threats as well as the future threats. So in short, we can say zero trust is essential today, but infinite security is the vision for future. It's a vision for tomorrow's world. Okay, so zero trust is not a final solution for today's world because attackers are using AI to launch the attacks. So zero trust will not work for AI-based attacks or automated attacks, or even it will not detect the deep fakes. So zero trust is essential for today's, but infinite security is the vision for tomorrow's, vision for future. So that's why we are going into infinite security. So let's talk about the vision of infinite security. That is a evolution of zero trust that prepares us for the future, prepares us for the tomorrow's vision for tomorrow. First, the infinite security is about the security without borders. In the today's digital world, data and systems are everywhere. So we are using mobile phone. Through mobile phone, they are collecting our data and they are storing it in cloud. They are storing it in various systems, servers. Even you can find our data in various IoT devices. Our data are everywhere. So the infinite security ensures the protection, ensures the security across all these environments, all these devices, without defining any boundary or without defining any perimeter. That is the first point. The second point is it focuses on adaptive pervasive defense. So instead of having a static policy, the infinite security is going to use AI-driven analytics. I mean, it is going to use threat intelligence, self-learning system to adapt in a real time. So it is like a defense system that evolves as fast as the attackers, even more than the attackers does. So this is the important concept that that we are having in the infinite security. And finally, the infinite security is built on humans as well as with the AI synergy. The human brings the judgment, human brings the ethical guidelines, human brings the contextual decision making. While the AI contributes the speed, how fast the attacks will be detected, the AI contributes with for automation and the upscale, the scaling. So whereas the human brings the judgment, human brings the ethics, human brings the contextual decision making, whereas your AI brings the fastness, automation, and the scale. So together, they create a balanced model where the technology enhances the human capability instead of replacing it. So the infinite security takes the foundation of zero trust and extends them into a continuous, boundaryless, without borders, and an intelligent framework, intelligent defense framework. So that is infinite security. Okay. So the heart of infinite security is the concept of security fabric. The idea of security fabric. So it is a connected, unified layer of protection that spans across all the environment. So if you are using a cloud, if you are using an edge, or if you are using a fog, if you are using an IoT, and in the environment you can find the user. So instead of treating each of these as a separate entity, the infinite security fabric ensures that the policy, the process, the mechanism flow continuously across all the entities. They are not separate entity. So the user, the IoT devices, the cloud environment, the edge components, all are going to be treated same, and they are going to ensure that the policies, monitoring process, the defined mechanism that flow continuously across them. For example, if you are accessing, if a user is accessing the data on a cloud application through their phone and get the same level of adaptive security as a smart sensor. The sensor is transmitting a data to the edge device or to the cloud. So the user, it's not about from where you are getting the access. Like if a user is accessing sensitive data, then you should not you should give a higher preference. No. Even a sensor is trying to push the data to the cloud, there also we are going to have a same level of security. And anomaly detected at the IoT layer or the anomaly is detected by the user should be treated equally. Okay. So this particular approach creates an end-to-end visibility and the control. So no matter where the data resides, no matter where the request is arising, whether it is requested by a user or whether it is requested by a small tiny sensor, the security posture remains same and it is consistent throughout the fabric. Okay, so in short, we can say the the infinite security fabric is all about weaving each and every pieces together and treating them equally and imposing the policies equally to all the components, all the entities, so that the security becomes pervasive, ubiquitous, and interconnected shield across the digital ecosystem. Okay. So this is the concept of infinite security, treating them equally, even it is a tiny node or it's a user, enforce the policy equally to have a security. So next, one of the core enabler of infinite security is artificial intelligence. So which allows the defenses to attack faster than the attackers. The first application is anomaly detection. So instead of relying on the fixed rules, AI is going to analyze the massive amount of data. Okay, so it is going to analyze massive amount of data and quickly it is going to spot the unusual pattern. So if you are relying on the fixed rules, it will not identify quickly. So we are going to identify the unusual behavior or unusual pattern anomaly with the help of an AI. For example, user is logging from an unusual location or with an unusual device, or if the same account is used by different devices from a different location, then it should be identified in real time with the help of an AI. Okay. So second, AI enables behavior-based prevention. So the traditional system look for an unknown attack signature in the traditional system, but the AI model can understand how the normal behavior looks and flags the deviation, such as the device suddenly trying to access sensitive information. For example, if you are using an app, the app is requesting an access to your microphone or requesting an access to your file explorer. So the AI models can understand how the normal behavior looks as well as the flag deviations, such a device suddenly trying to access some sensitive information that has never touched before. So that behavior-based prevention can be done with the help of AI. And finally, we have self-learning security systems. AI powers these self-learning security systems. So these systems don't just react; they improve over time. So every incident, every request, every detected threat becomes the learning opportunity for your AI system over time. So every incident, every threat, every access will be a learning opportunity, making the system smarter, and it is harder to bypass. So in short, we can say from this slide, AI brings the speed, how fast you are going to detect, and it is a scalable one, and it is an adaptable. Adaptability allows us to move from security posture to proactive, predictive defense system with the help of AI. Okay, so let have a quick and closer look at one of the most powerful application of AI in security, that is anomaly detection. So the first aspect of anomaly detection is the real-time monitoring. An AI system can continuously watch the user activity, network traffic, device behavior. Unlike in the traditional system, it checks periodically, maybe every 15 minutes or there will be a timing. But AI is able to identify the unusual activity. The moment it happens, it should be identified by your AI. There is a sudden, there is a failure of login attempts more than the usual number, then it will be detected automatically. Unexpected data transfer at unusual time, maybe at the midnight, there will be a transfer of a data. Then that will be detected in real time with the help of AI-based real-time monitoring. So that is also very crucial one. The second aspect is threat prediction and prevention. So it's not about real-time monitoring. So after the attack is launched or after accessing the data, after the unusual activity, it will be detected. It's not like that. AI does not wait for an attacker or an attack to happen or an attack to occur. So by analyzing the pattern across the past incident, the live data, so it can predict something unusual might, escalate into a real threat. So it will predict the threat by analyzing the past incidents, by analyzing the live data. It is going to predict this may occur in future, this may occur in the near future. So this allows a particular business or an organization to stop the data breach before it happens and before it causes the damage and the reputation damage to the organization or business. So in this way, AI shifts the cybersecurity from purely reactive to predictive as well as proactive. So this is one of the building block, very, very important building block of infinite security. And the next one is, this is also one of the pillar of your infinite security, that is the use of blockchain. This is one of the one more domain that can be added to your infinite security, that is called the blockchain. Blockchain to build a trust. The first advantage of having a blockchain is an immutable block. The blockchain creates a record that cannot be tampered, that cannot be altered. So in cybersecurity, which means that the audit trials and the transactions history remains trustworthy. Even if an attacker tries to cover with the tracks, it is remain trustworthy actually. The second is the blockchain enables decentralized identity. So instead of depending on a single authority to verify the identity, the blockchain allows individuals and organizations to control their own digital identity in a secure and in a distributed way. So this reduces the risk of having a centralized, the single point of failure and the identity theft. And the third one is the blockchain enhances the supply chain integrity. Many recent attacks, like SolarWind attacks that we discussed in the initial slide, the SolarWinds exploited the vulnerabilities in the supply chain environment. With the blockchain, every step in the chain can be verified and validated, ensuring the software updates as well as the components inside the supply chain are authentic. So, in short, we can say blockchain is not going to replace the traditional security, but it is going to add the extra layer for protection. Maybe it add a layer for transparency, it add a layer for integrity with the help of decentralized identity, and it adds a layer for trust. That is essential in the today's interconnected system. One of the biggest future challenge for cybersecurity is the rise of quantum computing. So while the quantum computers will bring a lot of benefits to us, at the same time, they possess a series of threats to the current encryption models. Algorithms, like we have a very strong algorithms. We have RSA algorithm, elliptical cryptography algorithm, so which is going to secure our the data. So those algorithms can be broken in few minutes with the help of a powerful quantum machines. Even though the quantum computers are bringing a lot of benefits, but at the same time, on the other end, with the help of quantum machines, we can break the RSA algorithm, we can break the ECC defense mechanism. So this is where the quantum safe or post-quantum cryptography comes in. Okay. So the researchers are developing a new cryptographic technique, that is the lattice-based cryptography, that are resistant to attacks from the quantum computers. So if you are, even the attacker is using quantum computers to break the RSA, to break the ECC, we are going to have a quantum safe cryptography, that is lattice-based cryptography. So that is resistant to attacks from the quantum computers itself. So these approaches are designed to secure even in the post-quantum world. So it's not like, I mean, it's not something we can postpone. Since the encrypted data today with the help of RSA or the help of DCC can be stolen and it can be used by the attackers easily. So don't wait till it is attacked or it is used by the attackers. So make sure that you prepare now for post-quantum era, post-quantum cryptography or lattice-based cryptography, ensuring that the sensitive information remains secure even the attackers is using quantum computers. So the infinite security includes the preparing for tomorrow's quantum risk, making our defense it's not just for today but also for future, that is preparing for 2030. So the technology is growing very fast. The same technology is used by your attackers also. They are going to use quantum machines to break the strong encryption algorithms like RSA and ECC. Next. So one of the biggest frontiers of cybersecurity is IoT and edge computing. So today we have billions of devices, IoT devices that are connected to the internet, right from the smart sensor, right from the wearables to the industrial machines, industrial controllers, and various medical devices are connected to the internet. So unfortunately, many of these devices are vulnerable because they lack in security. They use the default password, they use very weak passwords. They are running with most of the IoT devices are running with outdated software, outdated firmwares. So each device became a potential entry point for the attackers. So you are going to use an IoT device. So we are not worrying about the IoT device firmware, IoT device software. We are worried about the services are provided, only the services provided by the IoT system or IoT application. We are not going to worry about what kind of software is running inside the IoT device. It may contain an outdated firmware, which can be a weak entry point for an attacker to enter into the system. So to address this, we need because more than we are running only few machines inside an organization or inside an industry, we are going to have millions of IoT devices to control, to automate from the remote location. All these tiny sensors and actuators will be connected to the internet, which are running with an outdated software. These particular tiny machines, tiny sensors and actuators, it's not easy to have a security mechanism. Whatever we are trying to deploy with the help of a blockchain or quantum safe, post-quantum era, as well as with the help of AI, that cannot be applied directly to the billions of devices, IoT devices. So to address this, we need a lightweight zero trust mechanism or a zero trust process framework designed specifically for IoT. So unlike your server or unlike your desktop computer or laptop, IoT device cannot handle the heavy cryptography. So we must adapt these efficient methods so that the devices, so that verify devices identity by keeping the performance intact. So we need a lightweight zero trust framework for all these IoT devices. And another aspect is edge monitoring. Since the IoT devices often operate at the edge of a network, edge of industry, or edge of, closer to the user, monitoring must be, the monitoring is must actually. It happens at the edge. By detecting the anomalies locally, we can respond. What I mean to say is, the edge monitoring is a critical piece in the today's environment. So the IoT devices are operating at the edge of the network, edge of the smart space, edge of the industry, edge of the organization. It is closer to the user. So monitoring must happen at edge also. By detecting the anomalies locally, we can respond very in real time, very faster. Prevent the threats from spreading back to the cloud or back to the central infrastructure. Okay. So in short, we can say securing IoT security edge, it's not an optional one. It's a central to the infinite security. So without these particular securing IoT and securing edge monitoring, without it, the attack surface will keep on expanding. So not only we are not going to secure the devices, servers, and the laptops, we are going to secure even the tiny sensor also with the help of lightweight zero trust framework. So one of the most exciting aspect of infinite security is idea of having a self-healing system. The infrastructure that can detect the problem and fix the problem automatically. The first component in the self-healing system is automatic patching. So instead of waiting for the team, or instead of waiting for the skilled personnel or maybe the IT team to manually apply the updates or to manually push the updates, this self-healing system can automatically deploy the patches the moment the vulnerabilities are discovered, the moment the attack is happened. This particular self-healing system, they are going to have an automated patching mechanism. Okay, if something happens in your zone, the next zone is going to apply a update automatically that will close a window for attacker enter into the another zone. So that's why the segmentation of network, the segmentation of a big network into a smaller one, it's a very important role. It plays an important role. So the next, we have a AI-driven remediation. So if a system detects an unusual behavior, AI can step in to isolate the threat. If something happens to a system or something happens to a device, this particular AI, it is going to isolate the system automatically. Everything will be done without the human intervention. It's not like someone will come, they will remove all the network cables and they will isolate. No, the AI will do automatically. The AI will step into the environment and it does isolate the particular infected device which has unusual behavior. And not only the isolation, it does the rollback also. So it does the rollback the malicious active changes, and sometimes it triggers the automatic backup. So everything will be done without the human intervention. So this speed up the response time dramatically. And the third one is resilient infrastructure. The goal is not just to prevent the attacks. It's not about prevent the attacks but to design the system that can recover quickly from the attack. Even if the attack, see, even the attacker is going to use a quantum machine to launch the attack. The attacker is more faster than the skilled person who is working here in the organization or in the company. Okay, so the goal is not to just prevent the attack, but also design the system to recover from the attack very quickly. Even if an attacker succeeds, with the help of attack. The service continue, the service, whatever the service we are offering to the customer, it should continue with very minimal disruptions, ensuring that the continuity of our business. So that is the self-healing system. That is the beauty of self-healing system. So the conceptual framework for infinite security. So it all begins with the zero trust, and on top of that, we are going to add the adaptive AI that gives the security, that has the ability to learn, that detects the anomalies and respond in real time. And then next comes the blockchain that brings the trust, that brings the transparency, immutability into identity management, as well as the supply chain environment. Then we prepare for the future with the help of quantum safe, quantum post-quantum, with the help of quantum cryptography. We are going to ensure that when even the quantum computer arrives, our data and the systems remain protected. So finally, all of these components are integrated together in order to achieve the infinite security, that is a boundaryless, adaptive, fast, resilient defense system that evolve along with the emerging trends. So this framework is not about replacing the existing, replacing one model with another model, but it's about layering these technologies together. So we are going to add AI, we are going to add blockchain, we are going to add quantum together to get the infinite security. On the top of zero trust, we are going to add AI, we are going to add blockchain, we are going to add a quantum, and finally we are going to get the infinite security. So it's not about replacing zero trust with the AI or AI with the blockchain or blockchain with the quantum. We are going to add layer by layer. We are going to have different layers of technologies together to build a future ready security that is called infinite security. So these are some of the applications. This infinite security is going to make a real impact. The first one is healthcare. We need to protect the patient data. We need to protect the smart IoT devices, and we need to have a telemedicine security. So in the healthcare, infinite security is not just about the compliance. It directly supports patient safety, trust, and the reliability of a digital healthcare system. And in the finance sector is another domain where the infinite security has a huge role to play. First, it ensures the secure transactions, and it strengthens the fraud detection, and it supports the regulatory compliances. In short, you can say infinite security is it's about protecting not just the data, but also the trust it underpins the entire financial system. Okay, it's not about just protecting the data and the transaction. It is going to provide a trust where user is going to build on the banking sector or the financial sector. Is in the defense and the critical infrastructure. It is the most sensitive area where the infinite security must be applied. So if you go for a nation-state resilience, it is going to enhance the national state security. Modern cyber wars, it's not happening in the with the help of missiles and the bombs. Okay, it's not in the war field. It often starts with the cyber attack on the defense networks. Maybe they are targeting, sometimes they will target the power grids, they will target the fuel network, okay, they will target the communication system. If you apply zero infinite security principles, the nation can build a resilience against these attacks, against the cyber war. The second, the infinite security is crucial for critical system protections. Like think of the energy grid, think of a water supply, think of vehicular attack network, automatic vehicle, health infrastructure. I mean, with the continuous verification, a single cyber attack on this particular systems, it is going to disturb the entire city or even the country. So with the continuous verification and the anomaly detection, the blockchain and the trust models, these infrastructure can be protected against the intrusion. So in defense and the critical applications, inference security is not about just protecting the data, it's about protecting the nation's security as well as the public safety. So if we talk about the smart cities and the smart IoT, the new security challenges comes in. Like we must ensure the secure surveillance, we must ensure the sensor from the traffic camera to environmental monitoring. Billions of data are being collected. I mean, a lot of data are being collected. If something compromised, the attacker could manipulate the data, disable the safety systems, or disable the traffic light systems. Even they can do spy on the citizens. So the zero trust is going to ensure that every sensor, we are going to have billions of sensors over citywide. It is going to ensure that every sensor and every device is being authenticated before sending the data and before receiving the data and before processing the data. The second thing is citizen privacy. It is also a major concern. Smart city systems are often collect the personal information such as a travel pattern, facial recognition data. So we should enforce strict privacy control in order to protect the citizen privacy. And third one is energy grid security. Smart grids that manages the electricity supply over the city. It will be a target for attackers. So a successful breach could lead an attack on the energy grid could disturb the entire city or entire region. By integrating the blockchain-based, AI-based infinite security, we can strengthen the resilience against various attacks. If you go for educational sector, so the first, there is a need to protect our research data. Universities and various educational institutions are they are doing a lot of research, and they are generating a lot of valuable, storing a lot of valuable data in the field of medicine, in the field of engineering, especially if you are doing research in the field of defense, you are going to store some sensitive data. So cyber criminals, even they will target this particular data. So the infinite security plays a major role in zero trust authentication and continuous. With the help of a continuous monitoring, we can safeguard and we can protect our research data. Second, there is a platform, learning platform, online learning platforms with the students and the faculties connecting together with the help of multiple devices. In the COVID time, we have connected with students, we have connected with various other faculties with the help of online platforms. So the students and the faculties are connecting from multiple devices from multiple locations. So the attackers can exploit the weak credentials. The attacker can find the unpatched software, unsecured Wi-Fi. Maybe with the help of AI, adaptive AI and the continuous verification, the education platforms can ensure, learning platforms can ensure the safe login, preventing the hijacking, and we can prevent the student information as well as the faculty information over the learning platform. So finally, there is one more application, that is SME and the startup. So which forms the backbone of country's economy. So while they may not have the same resources as large enterprises, so they face same cybersecurity threats. So even the startups are facing the same cybersecurity threats similar to Google and the Microsoft tech giants. So the challenge is to provide the affordable security solutions to them. So they are running out of a fund. So we need to provide affordable zero trust solution. So traditional tools will be costly as well as it is a complex. It is not affordable by the SMEs as well as startups. Okay, so and then second one is the cloud-based security. Cloud-based security is a key. Many startups are running on the cloud. Even the entire process will be running on the cloud. They are not going to have an infrastructure. They are going to run all the business over the cloud. So the infinite security is going to ensure that all the applications, all the data, customer data, personal data, everything is protected. And the employee data, everything will be protected. So the cloud-based security is also very, very important. And third, we are going to have a AI-driven tools. So that is going to help the SMEs as well as the startup. So the automated anomaly detection, automated phishing protection, the real-time monitoring with the help of AI that allows those smaller organizations, I mean SMEs and the startups, to defend themselves against the protect themselves effectively without needing a large, without needing a cybersecurity team, without needing a skill set, cybersecurity skill set. So you can rely on AI-driven tools. Okay. So as we move forward, there are significant academic and research opportunities in the field of zero trust and the independent security. So this is very important. Like zero trust for IoT. Most of the IoT devices are resource-constrained devices, so they cannot run heavy security policies or heavy security protocols. So you can consider like developing a lightweight, efficient trust framework, zero trust framework for IoT is an exciting research challenge that has a very good impact. So it is one of the challenge. It is one of the research opportunity. So if you are interested, you can take this problem and you can work for it. The second one is lightweight cryptography. So with the billions of devices we need a cryptography algorithm that not only secure but also it should be computationally lightweight as well as energy efficient as well as quantum resistant. That is very, very important. This is also one of the key area for future research. There is an opportunity here also. Lightweight cryptography, computationally light, energy efficient as well as quantum resistant. Even with the help of a quantum computers, it should not break the key. The data should not be taken away with the help of a quantum machines. So in such a way, we need to develop an algorithm, a quantum resistant algorithm, computationally light, energy efficient algorithm to have a cryptography. Okay. The third one is AI-driven access control. So the current access control are heavily relied on the static rules. So AI can make access decision more dynamic, maybe by considering the user behavior, by considering the device health, by considering the context awareness, time, location. So this opens the new space for innovation in adaptive and intelligent security. So for the researchers and the professionals, the infinite security is not just a vision; it's a rich research domain with a lot of opportunities to work, a lot of opportunity to shape the future of cybersecurity in the upcoming days. So as we look at the future of infinite security, so there are some promising research directions. You can develop a blockchain-based trust models, while the blockchain provides the immutability and decentralization. More research is needed how to scale it for billions of devices. You can develop a trust model, but how to scale it for billions of devices? with very less energy consumption. When you talk about the billions of devices, it is obviously for IoT devices. So how to have it with the reduced energy consumption? How to integrate it seamlessly with the existing system, with the legacy systems? This is one of the research direction. And the second one is quantum safe cryptography. With the approach of post-quantum era, the quantum era, the challenge is not just to design resistant to the quantum attacks, but also make the practical deployment across everything from server to IoT device. How to develop a quantum safe cryptography for an IoT device. That is one of the exciting, exciting research problem. And third one is the AI explainability. AI becomes central to anomaly detection, central to access control. It is important that its decisions are transparent and it should be understandable by everyone. So if AI blocks a transaction or flags a user, so the organization must be able to explain why it blocks a transaction. So this area of research ensures a threat. Explainability. So if something is blocked by your AI system, you should explain why it blocked, why it flags a user with a tag. So your organization or your business must be able to explain why. So that is also one of the explainability is also one of the research direction you can work. So these directions like blockchain, quantum, and explainable AI, XAI, the presence, the cybersecurity research offering a lot of opportunities for both academics as well as in the industry you can work on. So yes, to understand the big picture, we also take a look at the various global security policies. So these are the policies, global policies, cybersecurity policies we have. Like we have a GDPR, we have a health insurance. Accountability in the US, we have industry guidelines. Okay. Right, and these are all the policies with respect to Indian context. So we have a cybersecurity policy in 2013 that is alias attempt to provide vision to secure the cyberspace in India. So they had one policy. Then we had a certain in 2022, and we have a digital Personal Data Protection Act in 2023 that is similar to GDPR in Europe. So these are some of the cybersecurity policies. So in Indian context, the cybersecurity policy is moving from proactive posture, the reactive posture to the proactive regulatory framework, ensuring that the digital transformation in India remains secure and trusted. Okay, as we move towards the AI-driven infinite security, so we must not forget about the human and ethical collaboration and human and ethical dimension. The first is the simplified access. The security system should not overrun the user with the complexity. So instead, they should use the intelligent design to make authentication and authorization, access control seamlessly. For example, adaptive authentication that asks for more checks only when the risks are very high. They should not ask the user again and again to enter the password, to enter the biometrics and other things. If there is a high risk, then you can ask again and again for more checks. So that is a simplified access. And the second one is a clear consent. So user must understand how the data is being stored, where they are being stored. If you are using, especially if you are using a cloud, there should be a clear consent between the cloud provider, cloud service provider, and the customer, as well as with the service provider. So the ethical AI ensures that the transparency in the consent forms avoids the hidden terms and conditions and manipulative practices. So this particular thing builds the trust between the technology service provider as well as the user. And the third is very, very important, that is awareness and training. So even the most advanced AI cannot replace the human intelligence, the human responsibility. So at any time you cannot replace AI. You cannot replace human with the AI, because even the advanced AI cannot replace the human responsibility. So the regular training, cybersecurity training, awareness training, and ethical guidelines ensure individuals that can make informed decisions, and it can reduce the human errors. Human errors often leads to a lot of data breaches. So if you provide a regular training, if you conduct a regular awareness program, that can reduce human errors that often leads to a data breach. So these are all the steps you can take when you are having a collaboration with the AI and the human for infinite security. And finally, when we are moving into the future, the most concerned threat in the cybersecurity is linked directly with the AI and the deepfake. So AI-powered malware attackers are ready. They are already using AI. They are experimenting with various malwares that can learn and adapt and overcome the detection, AI-powered detection. So it's like they are using a malware. That malware will learn and it will adapt and overcome the AI-based detection. So they are moving. The attackers are moving forward. They are moving ahead of our infinite security. So, unlike a traditional virus which follow the predictable pattern, the AI-driven malware is there, right? So it will change behavior dynamically with respect to the environment, to bypass the firewall, to bypass the antivirus, to bypass the spyware, even to bypass the zero trust infinite security systems. They are using AI-powered malware. That is also there. So we can do some research on AI-powered malware, and we can develop a system to protect our organization, our business from AI-powered malware. The second is deepfake system, that is deepfake social engineering. We are entering into the world, digital world, where audio, video, images can be manipulated easily, so that it is very difficult to distinguish the true from the fake. So receiving a video call, receiving a video call or receiving a message, audio message, which exactly looks like your CEO requesting for credentials, or instructing you to transfer some money, requesting credentials, requesting an access to access to the credential data. So these are all some of the these attacks can exploit the human trust at the new level. So that's why the infinite security is not only focusing on the technical safeguard, but also on authentication, also on verification and awareness. In the era of deepfake, seeing it's not believing. So you are seeing a CEO in the video call, and he's asking the just a minute.
Sir, sorry for the disturbance, sir. Your mic is in mute, sir.
Yes, I hope it is audible now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yeah. So in the important future trend in the cybersecurity is the rise of decentralized identity system. So the first concept is SSI. The second concept is the blockchain-based trust. So by using a blockchain, identity transactions can be made immutable, verifiable, and transparent. So these are all some of the future trends in the cybersecurity. So if you like to work, you can do some research on this. And finally, that is the future. One of the most important challenges in the cybersecurity will be our quantum era. The first issue here is quantum decryption risk. The powerful quantum computers, they will be able to break the today's widely used encryption algorithms like RSA, ECC. Within a few minutes, it will break. So this means that whatever the data we consider today as safe, it could be vulnerable tomorrow if the adversaries are using quantum computers to break it. So that's why there is I mean, urgently we need a quantum safe cryptography, PQC. Like there are new algorithms like code-based cryptography that can resist the quantum attacks while still being practical for everyday use. So standards are already being developed by organizations like we have an organization like NAST. They given the standards and adoptions must happen before the quantum computing becomes the mainstream. So in short, we can say the quantum era poses a real threat, but also it gives an opportunity. By preparing now, if you start preparing now, you can ensure that the security is not just ready for today, but also a future proof for the next generation of computing. So as we conclude, there are three takeaways from the today's session. Let's reflect on the key takeaways. The first one is zero trust is no longer optional one. It's a necessity today. With evolving threats and the perimeter is disappearing, organization must adapt to the principle of never trust, always verify to stay secure and safe. Second takeaway is infinite security. So we look at the concept of infinite security, that is future vision, tomorrow's vision. It extends beyond the zero trust by bringing in AI, blockchain, quantum, IoT, everything. So this is where the cybersecurity is heading to the next level. I mean, in the next decade, we are going to have an infinite security. Okay, and finally, remember, security is not a process. It's not a product. It's not like a single tool. Okay, with a single tool, add-on tool, we can give a security to the entire organization. No, it requires a continuous monitoring, adoption, awareness, and collaboration. So that's all. That is the key takeaway from today's session. I would like to thank the organizers of FDP and my friend Dr. Ramkumar and his team, and all the participants for giving me the opportunity to share my experience and the insights. Together we can build a cyber environment, not just secure for today, but also for future. And, so this is my contact details. So I am open to queries.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Karthik sir. Participants, please, any queries? So kindly unmute your mic and answer.
Sir, good evening, Mr. Karthik.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
I am Professor Ganpati from
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
MGR.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
University. Very informative session, very lengthy session.
Yeah,
That was you have covered. All,
Yeah.
all the topics you have just touched. Very good, actually. Even friends also.
Yeah.
So my question is, since I retired from Government of India,
Yeah.
so for e-governance, actually, what type of security can we have? Already MIT looks like so many guidelines.
Yeah.
Since you are in the academic line more,
Yeah. Yeah.
so what type of security we can have for websites, for data centers, all that, data security, information security, network security, all that together.
If you talk about the e-governance, we can have a digital signature, we can have certificates, we can have multi-factor authentication, we can have a hashing for passwords.
No, already we have. You are right actually. For e-procurement project, we have digital signature only. You are right actually.
We can use some firewalls. We can use application firewalls. We can use IDS. We can use IPS. And the only thing is we need to do regular patching work. Regularly, we need to update the application. We need to update the vulnerable scanning. We need to do regularly.
Okay.
There are frequent attacks we need to protect against.
Even ransomware, yes, ransomware suddenly it is attacking, and you are right actually. Very difficult to manage sometimes.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for your session, sir. Very informative, and kindly share the PPT, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sure. Thank you for your feedback, sir. Thank you.
Participants, any others, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please. Fine. So, on the behalf of VIT-AP University, I thanks to Dr. Karthik sir. Really, our session is very informative and very useful for those who are going to start their research work in the cybersecurity. I hope it's very useful for this session. I hope in future any queries they direct contact you for clarification. Thank you, Dr. Karthik sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your questions.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Sure, definitely, sir.
Yes.
And participants, yes, sir, thank you. And for participants, this session feedback link.
Thank you, sir.
We shared through mail and through WhatsApp.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. And for every day, we need to use the same Google Meet link for all the sessions. And only the feedback link will get. Yes, sir. Please.
Sir, I have a small doubt.
If
please. Time permits you. Any information regarding certifying authorities of digital signature, sir?
Dr. Karthik sir. Means you are asking the
question. Karthik sir, good evening, sir.
Oh, I think he left.
Karthik sir, good evening, sir.
I think sir left just now, so I think.
Okay, no problem, sir. No problem.
You can ask your queries. I will forward to Karthik sir. Will get
sure, no problem, sir. No problem, sir.
Feedback form kindly sent to that email ID, sir. Registered email ID.
Already we shared registered ID, sir.
No, but this Karthik sir feedback not shared. Nothing came to.
No, after this session we will post, sir. After this session.
You will post. Okay.
Yes,
sir, one more question. Can you please inform me the time exactly so that we can plan accordingly?
Every day from 6 to 9 p.m. sir.
Actually,
today is an inauguration session, so we started our session to 6:30. From 6 to 6:30 is inauguration. So from next day, tomorrow onwards, session starts from 6 to 7:30 is one session, and 7:30 to 9 is another session. So 6 to 9.
If there is a possibility, can you provide 5 minutes of a break so that switching is very easy for everybody?
Yeah, sure, sir, no problem. So in between every session, we'll give a 5 to 10 minutes break, sir. Definitely.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, dear participants, thank you for your patience attending the session. Thank you. We'll meet on tomorrow. Please, thank you.
Hello, sir. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Sir, actually, I want to ask you, what about that WhatsApp, sir? We are not joined yet in that group.
No, already we shared that WhatsApp link through your mail ID, madam.
Okay, sir, no problem.
Registered Atal FDP, so in that mail ID we shared the WhatsApp link. So please kindly join.
Okay, sir, no problem.
So WhatsApp is just for official communication only, but everything will send one copy through mail also.
Okay, no,
Yes.
fine problem. No
Is
problem.
there any separate attendance link will be shared, sir, or
No,
by
no.
default?
No. So actually, by default, we'll get the attendance from that Google Meet, sir. Those who are joining
Okay,
will
sir.
get that mail IDs. Based on that, we'll provide attendance.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, participants. Yeah, thank you, participants. We'll meet on tomorrow.